right, partners. Welcome on back to the show. It's been kind of busy, kind of crazy stuff happening around here in this particular timeline. I gotta say, y'all, I've been around, and this is definitely the darkest timeline. So hope y'all are doing well out there and hanging tight, staying in, and watching some great stuff on the interwebs. Anyways, let's jump into the show.
And here we are into the show.
Ellie'll be with us in a different, don't mind.
She will. This just leaves me a couple extra seconds to have that dungeon master moment that we all have, where you find out that somebody can't make it. And tonight, that somebody with commitments elsewhere is Ryan. So Baptiste tonight will be played, because we're not going into, basically the Deadlands version of a dungeon crawl without half of our active firepower, frontline firepower. So what we have decided to do is something I've done before, but I've never tried it on stream, so this should be fun. We are all going to play Baptiste communally. It is my job to make sure nothing gets too atrocious, but we all know the character. We are all going to play him over the course of tonight. Miss Alice, behave.
I mean, if you're giving me power,
no. There's a difference between playing him communally and taking him all for yourself.
The
latter is not allowed.
I was about to say, why are you worrying about Alice? I'm thinking this stove's getting real hot.
Speaking of which, the new art for Baptiste by Thunderscape 7 has been done, and it's
I see that.
Picture.
I'm gonna tap that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Sure. We'll just start right with that. I thought it had sort of a Keanu Reeves sort of vibe to it.
I love Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah. Okay. This is the week of thirsty here on the Mercs of Mischief. This is just everybody get thirsty week.
The week of thirst.
That's
what happens when you have no human contact.
I behaved myself in the Sailor Bar.
Yes, you did. You played Oblivious as well as I have ever seen anyone play Oblivious. And anybody that doesn't get that reference should go watch last night's episode. But tonight, we'll start at the bottom, because I see we're almost back in the top row is almost back and complete. So way at the far end, the man who puts on a tie to role play. And I appreciate the hell out of that. Lessamax playing Lucius for us tonight. The player who now has far more hair than his character. Another weird reference. Watch last week. Next to him, Jet, played by our very own and very busy Noctum Sky. And next to him, equally busy, equally our own, Sarah, playing Miss Alice. And then fresh back from the void whence she came with mere moments to go before we went live, Ellie, played for us by Hannah, who is trapped up here in the Great White North with me, and we can't travel either. So with that, announcements. We should probably do some announcements. We are raising some funds for some sick kids over there at Extra Life. You can help us with that down in the below panel. And help me out with this one, host of hosts. What is there's a special thing with that, is there not?
Oh, yeah. Every donation of $10 or more gets you, and this is donations to Extra Life. All that money goes directly to the Children's Miracle Network. Great cause. All those donations of $10 or more get you entered into a drawing to win a personal online game with Puck as your dungeon master. You and your closest friends can join you without being close to each other, because it's online, so it still works. Be sure to get in on that.
Excellent. So that is there. And with that, we've got one more down there. There is still hope that we will be attending Gen Con this summer. And in hopes of that, we are attempting to sort of offset some of the ridiculously large amounts of money it's going to cost all of these people to get from all over their everywheres to Gen Con. So if you could help us with that, just check again in the panel below.
Especially with it currently looking like it's going to be a last minute thing that we
the
know.
Decisions have not yet been made, but they will be, and I'm sure. So, and yeah, they're already talking about the art. I love it. With that, I think I can ask Mr. Marty to do his intergalactic funkery and see if it works.
So close.
And now, let's go down a new rabbit hole where we find our Poison Paradise Party, Hollywood bound. All right, and we are back, and it went flawlessly. Absolutely flawlessly. The delay at the beginning was a dramatic pause to make it all the more impressive, which it was. With that, we should probably do a summary of last week. A bunch of stuff happened last week, and you ended up standing at the gates of Fort 51, which appears to be abandoned. You have chased off what appears to be the last of the Kyles. The train is tooting off into the distance, chased by the last of those Kyles. And you are standing in front of a completely abandoned fort. There's towers, there's dogs apparently as well, but there's towers with no one in them. The front gate is about 5 feet agape.
Sorry about this, folks. Give me a second.
It's the aliens.
Lucius is the only survivor.
Oh no. They're coming for us. Quick, get my tinfoil hat.
Ooh, your ghost steel hat. That'll help. That won't make you crazy at all.
I'm the only one in the corner. I'm all alone.
You still got Kevin. And,
Yay.
and
Kevin,
your
help me.
and your body pillow of Baptiste.
My God,
Top
can't help me right now.
Appreciate the practice. Why, Mr. Lucius, I'm coming. I'm Baptiste, and I'm coming right now. I'm working my way back to you.
Hey, can we sell Baptiste body pillows?
Okay, sorry about that. I think we're in order now.
Oh, please. Can we get back to the horror? So, at the gate of Fort 51, an area that should be the most heavily defended 2 square miles of property in this part of the world, and that's saying something because there's a civil war on. There's not a soul. There is a tumbleweed that goes by outside in the wind. You're all standing at the gate, including Baptiste. He is there. Still has all his clothes on.
Should we
I
not?
promised him. What are we going to do?
So you said the gate's like
Just
blown
open like
open?
5 feet. Like it's 2 big swinging gates. It could open to a full 20 feet wide, and one of them's just pushed open enough to allow a space of about 5 feet.
I guess before we go in, I'm gonna turn and be like, Baptiste, before this happens, I think we should talk about this gun. Are you sure I can have it? Yes, Jet, you're my best friend. Of course. Okay, this is my gun now. All right, I'm good.
Yeah, just remember, I get to say, and I shoot him in the back anytime I want.
That's fair. All right. Well, should we be concerned?
Well, just as a bit of a flashback, Kyle, the one that seemed like he was in charge, the one that convinced all his friends to do this on the premise that it would be fun and they would meet aliens, was actually trying to find out about his brother, who was a soldier out here.
Yeah, that's what Alice is getting ready to say.
All a week overdue. So.
Yeah, I mean, considering that there's a missing person involved, maybe Minnie, because it looks kind of deserted here. Should we?
I mean, there's only one way to find out, and I kind of gesture towards the door, and I start to take a step forward, but like I'm doing it with that, like, if you say something, I'll stop, but I'm gonna.
Alice just follows, gun drawn.
You just hear a double whiff,
turn.
and Baptiste standing there without apparently having moved, just standing there with both pistols in his hand.
Shovel turned to scythe, ready at the ready.
Yeah.
I got a shotgun.
Miss Ellie?
Yeah, I'll follow, but I'll just kind of look at Baptiste with his 2 guns, and I'm just going to say, well, maybe we shouldn't go up to the door looking like we're about to pick a fight.
But you realize that Alice and everybody else has their weapons drawn, right?
Yeah, I know.
Jack's got his shotgun out. Miss
looking
Alice
at,
has got her rifle shouldered. She's not just got it out. She's walking towards the gate like this.
I'm looking at everybody and being like, we are here to talk, right? Did I miss the memo of we're about to take on the whole fort?
Well, we are here to talk, but as currently it doesn't appear that there's anyone to talk to. There are no guards. I have no idea what we could be facing.
May I do is it a scrutinize or a streetwise to check if it's safe or like?
Give me a scrutinize. From out here, you're not going to be able to tell a whole lot, but let's have a look.
For sure.
You could always roll a
main.
billion.
Is that main or so that's under cognitive?
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yeah. Let me get to the appropriate cheat sheet that I apparently still need after playing this game for this length of time. Right at the top under cognition, yeah.
Oof. It's a 2.
Yeah,
Oh, gosh,
nothing. That tumbleweed is native to this region.
All right. Alice is walking. Which is, like, if Jet stopped when Ellie was talking, Alice would have passed him up. Because Alice just...
I guess she's gone then. I was going to poke my head through first and make sure, but hey, you corporeal folks.
What do you mean, you corporeal?
Well, it's the gates open. There's nothing to poke your head through.
Yeah.
Baptiste will follow Alice. Guns drawn, still pointed at the ground. He's not up, like he's not in full go mode yet, but they're out. But he's normally, I think
but
he
he's
would have
quicker.
led, but I'm fair to. He could be ahead of you. That's not the question.
That's
After
exactly.
The row that you two have had, you want to go first? You go first.
Yeah, and as far as like drawing guns, he's quicker, so he doesn't have to be already there, and he's fine.
Yeah.
Alice isn't
shouldered, ready
quite.
to go.
Alice
He
can't quick draw, so.
But what you do see with you guys have seen it before. He's getting that really calm sort of Zen flow starting to come off of him. He's going into gunfighter mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She just kind of turns and gives him a nod and just keeps going.
And yeah, you get that very precise, like everything he's doing right now is just real precise.
Yep. We've moved from bickering couple to power couple. It's fine.
Yeah, he's in millimeter perfect mode. You can see it.
All right. I'm going up
so that's
until
the
I
order.
see. I will walk forward until I see anything that looks like it's not what it should be. Whether
Okay.
that be
Give me a scrutinize.
Yep. Okay. Somewhere. As soon as I find that.
Top left.
It's an 8.
Better than mine.
Let me do a thing.
Oh god.
Let's do that. Okay. You are your head on a swivel, just looking through this gap and moving from side to side, trying to get as much of
Yep.
a view as you can. A couple of things are real obvious. Inside is just as empty as out here. You can see the edges of a couple of buildings, like an office building and some barracks. They're dusty and dirty. Some of the windows are open and the curtains are flapping in the wind. It looks utterly abandoned.
Can I tell if it's abandoned recently or long abandoned?
It's been a while. This dirt, this is a military base. It should
Yeah.
be spotless. If they're not fighting, they're supposed to be clean, and that's how you keep them from fighting each other, right? So this military base, every rock should be painted white, every fence post should be freshly sharpened, and none of that. It's been days. That's all I'm going to tell you with an 8.
Okay. So Alice, I guess, would know of Baptiste's kind of area of expertise a little bit in this.
Yeah.
So she would kind of stop, and she would turn to him and say, "It's not normal that everything is dusty. Something happened here, and they haven't been here in days. A while.
It appears for all the world that they have retired."
I still
Again,
think
Ryan, I'm so sorry for the
It's-
accent. That wasn't even freaking close. That was, and it sounded greasy to boot, but never mind.
Today we're playing with Baptist. He's
Baptist.
Yeah.
Well, you broke Kevin.
I'm sorry.
So the
Alice says, I still think we should proceed with extreme caution. And I don't know if anybody else is following, but Alice and Baptiste at least are doing their thing. And they're
Like, you kind of turn to speak over your shoulder, and at first it might be a little aggravating because he's not looking at you,
Mhm,
but you realize what he's doing is looking beyond you
mhm.
and watching to see if anything's happening while you've got your head sort of slightly distracted. So,
Yep.
Yeah, he's just agreeing and nodding. He is
Uh,
also ready to walk in the door.
Yep, we're going.
So, Miss Alice first, Baptiste immediately behind.
is ready.
Who's third?
I'll follow you.
Lucius is going third. Okay. And then Jet fourth.
Oh, I was just going like, I'll do
Or
whatever.
you're going to do your
And
own
I'm
thing?
not and I'm not necessarily like, I imagine Baptiste is doing the same thing. I'm not necessarily like trying to sneak, but I'm
No.
not trying to cause a bunch of noise either.
No, exactly. You're just walking, making sure your feet are well placed so you don't trip and fall.
Yeah.
But yeah, you
Yeah.
are. Yeah. And he's keeping firing arcs open. Like wherever you're pointed, he's got the other 2 of the other 3 arcs covered. Yeah. It's hard to feel safe in an open space in a gunfight,
Yeah.
but next
Yeah.
to him, that's probably, yeah.
And Alice is scanning back and forth too.
Yep.
Like with her gun.
Absolutely.
So trying to
give
keep
me-
her back to walls, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do I'm going to do a scrutinize for him, and I would like to do you do a scrutinize as well, please. His was not great.
Another scrutinize.
And Jet, you were going to do something special, were you?
Scrutinizing all over we got the same thing.
I was just indifferent because once they took lead after I was like, well, I'll just bring up the rear then.
Okay, so you're going to come. Ellie, you said you were going to be last. You specifically said last, so. you two
No,
can-
she just kind of stopped to be like, really, guys? But if Jet's planning to go last, I'm sure he would have been like a after you gesture or whatever. So she'll just be right before.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I'm apparently Baptiste and I are paying the exact same amount of attention.
You are paying exactly the same amount of attention. Question is it enough?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it is. I rolled.
Oh
it.
shit.
Okay. One of you, I guess doesn't really matter. Both of you at the same time. No, I get this. You're walking across. He's like right behind you. Got both sides covered, right?
Yeah.
And the boat. You realize there's one direction you have not looked. Down. And you look down, and at exactly the same second, you feel him grab the back of the collar of your dress. He doesn't pull you; he just holds you and doesn't let you step. And you look down, and just under your very nice boot there's this little blue stone. Looks almost like a peanut, slightly bent in the middle. He pulls you back just so you put your foot down where there isn't one. He says, "They're all over." And you start to look around, and they're scattered around on the ground.
And they're blue stones?
They're all absolutely identical. They look like stones, but now that you start looking, they're too uniform. They're all exactly the same.
Is there a sign so I can identify it?
You could certainly get down and take a look, yeah.
Does this remind Alice of anything she's seen before? Particularly...
yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you don't even need to roll. No.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. Yeah, if you got, you want to science it, or
Sure.
what else can you think of to do to it?
I have geology, biology, and
Give me
chemistry.
geology.
Yeah,
This is.
geology would be good.
Let's start with that.
Oops. Hold on. Under knowledges. Okay. That's not bad.
Okay. This is definitely not a rock.
Yeah.
This is not natural. This looks more like, in modern terms, it would be like a petrified jelly bean. They're all perfectly uniform. They're all exactly the same. They're slightly bent in the middle. They're all exactly the same color blue. And they are definitely not a naturally occurring thing.
Would they be
are all over. There's a little area inside the gate where you guys just came in. It looks like maybe it was like kept clear of them. But they're all over the place in here.
I tell them they seem to be synthetic in nature. They're definitely not a rock.
Alice kind of points with her eyes to where Alice knows Baptiste keeps the badge.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, anything?
Nope.
Anything occult in nature, perhaps? Probably
You can
not.
try.
We could also just, toss a rock into them and see if anything happens.
Does it look like they're glowing, or they're just like...
They don't,
They're
not
just-
visibly. Nope.
Hmm.
You rolled well, but there's nothing occult about these. This appears to be the result of science, not of magic.
Okay, well, that's still a pretty good thing to determine. So,
Yep.
so nothing of
Um,
occult. It's something of science, from what I can tell.
Anything chemistry related? I can try that.
You can try.
It's a
Jet?
10.
Oh,
You had, you look at Baptiste, and he's looking at you, and he kind of looks down at one of the blue rocks and sort of flicks the end of his pistol at it, like,
Yeah.
You want me to?
Yeah, take a step back before you do that.
Yeah, I mean, preferably with nobody standing close. Because I could just as easily scoop it up from the bottom from underground, but I don't know if that'd be a good idea neither.
And, I mean, chucking a rock's probably the safest bet.
Yeah, maybe not a bullet.
What?
Okay, because I was just going to say, he grins at you, Jet, and says, I'll bet you can't shoot that one over in front of that barracks from here.
All right. That's not...
I
He
put
gives
my
you the
I
elbow.
put my
Like, here we go.
I put my arm on right. I'm sorry. Just kind
Ooh.
Who's this
Me being Bad
Ryan?
Baptiste this week.
So I put my arm on Baptiste and kind of give the look like we had that conversation, like just maybe just take her a little easy.
That rock idea seems nice.
So yeah, I'll just lean down real slow and just pick up a little
Anything
rock.
from my chemistry roll?
That's right on the brink. It doesn't appear stable. I'll give you that.
Okay. Alice, when Jet goes to pick it up, she stops him.
Or you were just going to pick up a
I'm
regular
picking up a rock. I'm not.
I know,
sure.
but she stops him and she says, I can already tell you that it's not stable.
I have one last thing to ask. Okay, could I give it a mad science check?
Absolutely.
Was it
you may
was
do
it
all the rolling you wish.
was it invented? That's what.
Oh, we're gonna sit
We've
around
rolled more tonight than we have in the
all
last 6
day.
weeks.
Lord.
Jet and I are not science people.
Another 11.
Hellfire
Okay.
now.
We're throw a rocket at people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it'll bounce off or explode.
Will it explode? Will it bounce off?
Here's
Sounds
the
good.
problem, Jet, is that see how many of them are? If one of them explodes and it is a large enough reaction to call all the other one to explodes, then this whole place will be sunk and us with it potentially.
That go outside and toss rock inside. Boom.
We don't want boom. That's exactly what we don't want.
I look around at everybody else.
Lucius, you've been poking at this rock for a while now. You've tried various different things on it, and chemistry checks and academia checks and science checks and occult checks. And during your mad science check, you get a little carried away and you kind of poke it with your finger. And
Hold on.
as you touch it, a slightly lighter blue crack appears in the surface and starts to spread.
Oh, that's not good.
What's not good?
What are you doing?
I like wipe it off, like get away from it, just to and observe carefully.
Okay, you just drop it, or you just step away because it's on the ground, right? So you touched it. You just.
Yeah, I step away and just try to watch. Like, guys, be vigilant. I touched it, and I think it's. Would you say hatching?
You guys turn and you can hear it now. It sounds like huge sheets of glass cracking, or like ice on a lake. There is a tremendous amount of power in one of these little things.
I start backing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a step back.
Okay,
give us. You guys waited so long. You need to make deafness checks for me, please.
I'm deft as hell.
Yeah, you don't care.
Oh, I'm not.
You will never learn.
That's
Sky,
what you
as
get
a player,
for-
will never learn. You never comment until
That's
after
what you
the roll.
get for saying that.
Yes.
Oh God, Lucius! Lucius is
Oh.
mesmerized by the light.
Oh, this is not good. A 4, a 9, a 7, and a 3. Well, I guess so. I got to do a Baptiste one here, don't I? I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
I was just about to say somebody
swear
roll
to God,
Baptiste,
if he
but I'm the
gets
only
a
one that can
20.
see his chart. So.
Oh no.
Oh my God,
That's
he's
how that's
so
done.
deft. He saves
That
Alice
is
in the
how that done.
process.
Damn straight he does. That was the plan. You were right there. Miss Alice, you turn around and you're just about to open your mouth and tell Lucius how unbelievably stupid he is.
Yep.
When you are grabbed again by the back of your dress, which he has discovered is a very good handhold, and you can't speak because he is pulling you backwards so fast. Spread it, get it, as you go backwards. You would drop your rifle. He pulled you so hard, but you see his hand come out, sans pistol. So he has somehow put the pistol away, reached out, caught your rifle before it hit the ground, slings that back over his shoulder, and still has his hand fast enough to come back and catch your other armpit as you stumble back against him. And he drags you to safety.
What a man.
Oh, thanks, Baptiste.
What
Ellie,
a man.
yeah, you're getting out, and you're like, really? And it explodes.
I do have chaps on. I don't know if that helps.
There you go.
Wow, let's just work our way down this list. Jet. This, you're close enough to see this. It looks like a reverse funnel, because it explodes at a point on the ground, and the explosion goes up and away from that point. So luckily it doesn't go flat along the ground, because this is a large explosion and it would have set off every other one in this area. But it seems like a shaped explosion. It comes off the ground sort of like that. But it's one of those really fast explosions. It doesn't go, it goes, and you feel the shockwave of the air, not the explosion, but just the shockwave of the air hit you hard enough, flips your hat back off your head, and you hear a bass line.
Oh God, Marty's come for me.
I swear to God, I'm not trying to do this, guys.
You are flying
Yes.
backwards through
Hey.
the air.
Oh boy, am I gonna hit a wall?
We're gonna find that out in a minute, because
Okay.
just before your eyes kind of go down, as your head snaps and your head goes down to your chest, you see Lucius still bent over this thing,
Oh.
turns around and says, "Hey guys, I see you got a finger. What do you want to do to save your life?"
I would like to call him thick-skinned and tough as nails.
Okay, that'll help on the following rules.
Should we draw our chips for today? Because we might need
Oh, yeah.
them.
No, not
Yep.
yet.
Yeah, that's a
You already had them, or you already had yours. So,
Are those from last week? Did you?
Those are from last week.
I
are those
think.
from last week? Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I shall recall.
Yeah, I think we need to do a recall.
Just in case we might need some.
Okay, so there's good news and bad news. The bad news is that I caused an explosion. The good news is I'm sorry.
They're shuffled. So go ahead
Except
and
you
draw.
exploded already. Oh, this poor man.
Shit.
See, I could have just thrown a rock at it from far away, and we would have been fine.
See, I liked the rock idea. This is what
I was
happens
fine
when
with
you
it too,
science
but
stuff.
you needed to
I
understand.
had no idea. Well, true. That's the mad scientist.
This is what happens when you science stuff. Just throw things at things and it works.
Alice science stuff and everything was fine. I'll have you know.
To be fair, the first time you scienced anything, it also exploded. That was just what we wanted it to do.
That was the plan. What are you talking
it
about?
smelled really nice, might I remind you.
That was a different
So-
time.
That was a different time.
So Lucius, you're like sort of bent like this, and the explosion happens here, and it's just
Oh.
Oh no.
there is a blast wave in front of an actual explosion of air that is every bit as dangerous as the explosion, but it usually doesn't have stuff in it. That knocks you like that as it goes up. Like you are just snapped over at the waist backwards and slammed into the ground. Your shoulders hit the ground before your feet leave the ground. Like it's that hard a hit. And then you're laying there, you can't close your eyes, you can't feel anything. And you look up as this blue cone just erupts above you out into the sky. You take
All the damage.
All the wounds.
All the wind.
I don't want to roll this.
Oh,
It is spread
God.
out. So we take the number that I'm about to roll, we divide it by 5.
Oh,
That's how
dear
many wounds you
God.
suffer. And then we spread those evenly over your body.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do some stabbing.
Oh,
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Okay.
Okay.
That could be a lot worse.
6 wounds.
wounds.
Okay.
That's-
So
So
1 to the arm, 1 to the leg, 1 to each arm, 1 to each leg, 1 to your guts, and 1 to your head.
okay, well, let's see. Thick skin reduces wound penalty by 1. So whatever's
So
I
one of
guess I'll-
those you can have back.
head, I would
5.
say, is probably the most important.
Yep.
So you said head and all my limbs, right?
All 4 of your limbs was your head, but you've gotten rid of that, and guts. Not gizzards, but guts. Because gizzards is
Oh,
critical.
okay.
Just like heads.
And
So
how-
you
how
absolutely
many
picked the right
wind?
one to block.
And how much wind? Because I can reduce at
Well,
least
the
10.
thing is, I'm going to ask you now because you seem to have forgotten. You can burn chips at this point to reduce the number of wounds that you just took.
I will use 1 white chip.
Otherwise, when I roll the wind, you might want to save them for that because you're about to take 6d6 wind.
66 went. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I will.
Wow, he's a long ways
Value.
away from me, and I just heard him poop from here.
And it's
Well, yes. Well, I will give up.
Are
a
you using
white
them on the
chip.
wounds? Last call to use chips, because every wound you prevent reduces that wind too, right?
Okay. Well, I'll use a white chip on the guts.
Okay, so you remove one more. So now you only take 4d6. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. We'll do that. 4d6
Okay.
wind, but 16 wind.
I can deduct 10 of that.
Yep.
With
But the,
tough as nails, so I take
Yep.
6 wins.
So you take 6 wind. Yep. So you guys see him fold in half the wrong way. Like.
does he? This is Alice's main concern at this second. Does he land on other?
He does
Blue
not. He's blown
stones.
back where he
Okay.
was. So back into that open space.
Alice says, we need to drag him away from these, and she kind of like nudges Baptiste, and it's like
Mhm.
trying to
And
drag
he's
him.
very carefully looking at the ground as he makes his way
Yeah,
over towards
yeah.
him. You guys are in this sort of little bubble area around the door. What you realize now is this is probably like the modern equivalent of a minefield.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, were mines a thing at this time?
Maybe, but certainly not pea-sized.
Like the-
Right.
Does Ellie make the explosion fine?
You rolled quite well, didn't you?
I
7.
rolled a 7.
Oh, you were 7. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have I had the screen rolled down too far. Rolled
I
scrolled up
should
too far. I
say,
didn't see it.
You should have
you're
let
in
it go.
yeah, you're in the same boat as Jet. You guys are going to take half of that. So you're going to take 3 wins.
But I don't wanna.
And do we take
And
wind?
again, you can reduce those by burning chips, and I'll roll your wind after you decide how many of those you may or may not want to remove with chips.
Or do we take them?
Mhm.
Yeah, you can just take them, and then you take 3d6 wind
Where?
because of 3 wounds. Oh, you guys, let's do 2 arms and a guts. It's upper body because you're kind of in the sheer.
I'm gonna. What is it? You can use 1 white is 1 wound, right?
Yep.
Yep.
You can spend as many as you want.
Yep.
Well, hell, why not? I'll go ahead and spend 3. I made it out just fine. I phased through the ground.
Exactly. I was just gonna say you're always easy when you do this. It's like they're coming right at you. You just go. Boom. So, ooh, that bullet practice with Baptiste helped. He's still almost shot me.
I'll use 1.
But he didn't shoot
Okay.
her.
So so you take 2. 2d6 win. Only 7. So 7 win for Ellie.
And I
Is your
removed
gun-
4. I removed 4 from that. So.
From that, okay. So you only take 3. There we go.
My God, I
guys
love
burning
whatever
skills
this
and abilities.
music is.
I know.
It's pretty great.
It's fantastic. Yeah, so
Big shout out to Tabletop Audio.
there it is.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So
And
Alice
yeah, you
is
guys grab Lucius.
Yeah.
Baptiste grabs Lucius. He does that thing again where the guns are just gone, and he's just now dragging Lucius out the door, being very careful not to drag him in the little blue past.
and Alice is like, okay, this is fine. Just kind of like I was gonna try to help, but whatever, it's fine.
Mhm.
Don't fucking need me, I guess. And
my ligaments.
yeah, I don't have like I have
Well,
no.
so far that's the quote of the night.
I ain't got no
My
medical
ligaments.
training except for psychology. I can trick him into thinking he feels better. I don't know, but that's all I
yeah, he's
got.
the magic. He's the healer, right?
Yeah,
He's only got 1 wound. in
Baptiste
each
does
area.
though, so it's fine.
He's just a little roughed up. He's all right.
It's like his
I gotta
arms
say,
almost completely.
I
fallen.
strategically endured a lot of that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it.
We call that strategic. You took the blow for the team. Yeah.
I did it for science.
Yeah, there's another good
regret!
excuse. So yes, he's
kinda
raving
like-
as you drag him out the door, but you get the impression that wasn't the blue things that did that to him. That's just him.
So are we going outside now?
We're going. Yeah, we're dragging
You guys
him.
tell me. Back outside the door?
We're, as far as what Alice was trying to do was bag. Wow, good lord, put him in a body bag already. Dragging him, like out of the blast zone.
Yep.
And I mean, I got nothing as far as healing. I don't know, Baptiste might do a thing.
No, it's okay. I can heal myself too. So I'll do a medicine check for myself.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess in the rear, I guess that I'm gonna be making sure Ellie makes it out because
Okay.
that was the only person
not
that got
too
hit.
good today, unfortunately.
Yeah,
can
you
do
are able to
one-
staunch the bleeding on one of them, so you can fix one wound.
I will do my
During this, you realize the sun is in your eyes, and your hat's missing.
what? No.
Yeah, when you slammed into the ground, your hat's missing, and they did not pick it up on the way back out. So you
Yeah,
kind of roll on your side and look through the door, and there it is. The wind is lifting it, and then it falls back down. Lifting it, falls back down.
Well, I'm
It's
picking
inside.
myself up off the floor because
Yep.
I'm still in here. Jet like phased through and they dragged him up, so I'm just like, yeah, no, don't worry, I'm fine too. And I'm just gonna
Yeah.
grab my hat,
No, I helped.
and then like toss it. Out
Hey,
and
listen,
just,
I helped. I helped. I
just said that
swear.
I helped. I'm not
So
an
you
asshole.
grab his hat without touching any blue things. And
So
Ooh.
Alice kind of looks at everybody and she says, "So,
So
do
the
we
rock
want
one.
to stand back and throw something in there and let them all go off, or
We could
Yeah.
damage evidence. Hold on. We could damage evidence and like things that we're looking for in there.
Are
we don't know
you
what we're
really
looking for?"
Trying to make a point, Mister. I'm gonna poke it.
Hey! I figured out a lot of things. Okay.
Yes,
A
you figured
lot.
out how
and
to almost die.
His eyebrows are like he can't tell, but his eyebrows are gone. The remains of it, like he had his hair cut short. It's like it's been peeled back by the explosion. He's got the short top and sides now that there's no hair left.
Yeah, you've
I mean,
lost,
Half
you've
the
lost idea
ties, like the
privileges
ties
now,
spun around to the
Lucius, so
side.
you-
The
half
thing
of it's
is,
missing.
it seemed to explode up directly into your face. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure if it'll cause a chain reaction if we throw something in.
That's true.
We can shoot it, or we can throw individual rocks.
let's.
He pipes up and says, "Oh, we could try just not stepping on them."
Well, but there are so many of them. Do you really think that?
Well, they're not moving.
It's true.
Look,
I understand that, darling, but
I know how much you like your wrestling matches, and I don't want us to get in one and then roll on over into. I think we clear them out. I don't want to deal with that nonsense.
well, let's.
Well, I was thinking more of dancing my way through.
But-
It's been quite some time since I danced. And he looks at Miss
Swear
Alice.
to God, Baptiste.
It was like 2 days ago we danced. First of all, and she says maybe okay. I think maybe a first thing is to everybody get back at a safe distance before we do anything.
Let me get my win, and I'll be okay.
Yeah, we need to give Lucius a couple of minutes.
Ellie, do you give him his hat back or are you keeping it?
Yeah, I just kind of like drop it on him because I imagine
Yeah.
he's just kind of laying there, so I just kind of drop it on them, and I'm just like, worth it, really?
Yes, it was.
You,
Thank
you go to put it back on, and you know how it used to, like it was like it's already a truncated top hat, right? Like it's been turned into a
Oh, I
bolero.
don't put it on his head.
Oh no,
He's-
I'm
he's-
just telling. Like he looks
Oh,
down on
okay.
his chest, and this is what he sees. You know how it had like a flat rim, because you flattened the rim out so it looked like a bolero. That's all sort of lifted up at the front, almost like Gilligan's hat. You know, it was folded up at the front so you could see his face. Yeah, the whole front of it's just.
I'll fix that later.
How,
Oh.
And Alice says, and there's always the chance that we try
This
to
is
set
annoying.
them all off and it doesn't
This
work
way.
anyway.
Yeah.
Because that one exploded.
Mhm.
So,
Worth a shot.
You know what's real good
What-
at hitting a
what-
lot of things at one
what-
time?
Shotgun.
Did I-
Yeah.
I gotta ask, what did I learn when I touched it, like when I picked it up? The durability.
Then it hurts.
What you
Us?
learned is you
Hey,
shouldn't touch
hey,
things.
No. What I'm
No,
asking
apparently
is
you didn't learn that because
how long does it take before it explodes? What made it
the
crack open?
tiniest little touch on your part, it took about 10 seconds before it went off. But you have
Okay.
no idea how long it would take if you had actually stepped on
Like
it.
full on stepped on it, like Alice almost did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, you almost got killed by a jelly bean.
Mm-hmm. So did Lucius.
Blue one, and nobody likes the blue ones.
That's why they use them for mines, because they're like, we don't like these. So Alice she's gonna have everybody get back, and the doors are they work, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
so Alice is gonna close the doors so that there's like this much space,
Yep.
because and then she's gonna say, so if what are we doing?
We could shoot them. We can throw shit on them. I mean, I don't have
like
any
shooting them,
dynamite
I mean.
left. Actually, I think
And Alice, fuck it, Alice is just gonna throw a rock in there.
Hey, Jet, I don't want to see a dynamite explosion mixed with a landmine.
You
Alice
throw a
gonna,
rock in, and it takes a couple, but like the second or third one, another one
does
of
it
these explosions.
set other ones off?
Nope.
Okay.
No, they appear to be designed to blow up like this.
Yeah.
So if we get rid of the ones in the middle and just make ourselves a path, we should be fine.
it ain't hard to, and I just chucking rocks. It ain't hard to, you know,
bowling. Yeah.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, so you start throwing rocks at them.
I'm just trying to get them all gone. I don't
Well,
want
this
to
is what
deal with
Alice
that.
wanted to figure
Baptiste
out.
immediately
is-
challenges you right away. I bet you can't hit that one over there, but in front of the, and that's it. The two of you are off and running.
I have throwing. Where's my throwing?
I'll roll for him. Damn it, let's do this.
I'm
Alice
just
is
gonna use my
getting in on this
dynamite.
too.
I'm gonna use my dynamite throwing because that's my base dynamite, my throwing stat. Oh,
There it is.
not as good as I'd hoped.
Oh, I don't have a real throw.
Ah.
You dirty bugger. Oh,
If I'm feeling
Hmm.
better, I'll throw as well.
Oh Lord.
Is Lucius able to
this
throw
is
right now?
interesting. Okay.
Well, I fixed my right hand. It's all light wounds.
Yeah, he's not like he's just roughed up. Oh no, did we find something the great and dynamic Baptiste cannot do?
You did actually.
Yeah. He said that before, that he's like,
So
I don't
he
know,
has-
throwing's
he's
not.
a one-trick pony. That's
Yep.
Baptiste's trick. He's just very, very good at doing that one thing.
Yep.
But nope, he is going to be rolling one die to do this. So he challenged you to something. I mean, that makes sense. He challenged you to something he's not necessarily very good at.
I mean, this is young Baptiste we're talking about.
Oh no!
He throws it in his eye.
Throws
you
it.
you hurl a rock and it hits one. He fires one that goes through the window of the office. Because you were trying to hit the one closest to the office, right?
Alice says, we're not here to vandalize. And then does her throw of
I am
11.
much better shooting. And he's reaching for his pistol now. It's like- Go ahead. Go do a chucking. Oh, Alice
she already
did
did
throwing and shit. Oh, an 11. Yeah. You got this now. You're just like, you're ranged in. You're just picking them off at will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a matter of time. You guys take, we'll just take those rolls. So, yeah, Miss Alice, you are by far and away the best blueberry blower upper in this group.
Well, and
It's
Alice
not
will,
close.
because what she'll do is she'll clear out like this, the front, and then she'll kind of move in, and then just kind of
Yeah,
repeat,
just walking along, just ping, 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 right?
rinse, repeat.
With some assistance from Jet and Baptiste chooses this moment to adjust his duster.
Uh-huh.
I will provide cover, and he's got the pistols
Alice-
out again.
Alice gives him like a knowing smile, like, okay,
It's okay. You're cute.
yeah, it's like it's fine. You did good.
Yeah.
I'll throw a bit. I just already did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. 5. You're You're slightly less helpful than Jet. Maybe it's the blast wave still sort of ringing in your ears. Maybe it's the sun getting in your eyes because your hat isn't right anymore. But yeah, you're not throwing particularly well. But you guys take some time and
Yep.
Yeah, sneaking up on anybody if there's anybody here, but you blast your way through.
I think we've already screwed that pooch.
So when you step in the door, I'll describe the area around you. I didn't do a map of the surface of the fort, but it's basically a big rectangle, and you guys are coming in the middle of the long side. Directly in front of you in the middle is this sort of office building, commandant's office sort of thing that you would expect in any military camp. All the way down the left-hand side is the barracks area. So it's just row after row after row of identical buildings, obviously designed to house people. Off to the right-hand side is an area equally as large. It's a corral. It's where they had their horses, but there are 0 horses. There's no water in the troughs. There's no food in the areas where they would be fed. And it looks like they were taken out in a hurry. There's towers all around and a bunch of storage buildings and whatnot laying out, sort of sitting around against the walls. There's a forge and some other buildings, but everything is empty, dusty, and forlorn.
Alice is going to go into the office, but once all these little things are gone.
Pardon me, I forgot one building, and I shouldn't have forgotten this building.
Oh, please tell me it's what I'm hoping for. There's one I'm asking about. Let it be that.
Is the one you're asking about huge?
Is it the armory?
No.
Oh,
This is a building that is so huge. I forgot to mention it, but it is so huge that it is doubtful that any of you have seen a single structure that takes up this much floor space.
Even in Denver?
But it's only about 3 stories tall. No windows, solid walls. All along the side closest to you are doors that go all the way up to the roof. They're 30 feet tall. And those doors, they're shutters, so they slide. They've got to open up on a gap that's at least 120 feet wide. It absolutely dwarfs everything else in here. And the scale boggles. You're looking at it from across this area going, it's too big. But then you see this itty bitty little door on the side, and that's a people door.
Does it look like it matches the rest of the fort?
No, it's much, much newer.
Well, hell, I want to know what that is.
Of course
put up in a
do.
hurry. Yeah.
Alice is she says, let's see if we can find any information in the office. And Alice is going to go to the office. But before she goes in the office, in the event that there are more of these blue jelly beans, she is going to pick up a bunch of rocks, just small ones, and put them in her pocket so that she has them if she needs to disarm any more of these.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But she is going to, of course, shake them off and get kind of clean them and get the the dirt and dust off of them.
Yep.
Before putting them in her bag.
Fair enough. You are prepared for any upcoming purple rockery.
Yes.
All right.
But then I'm just trying to get into the office.
You bet. It's not, now that you know what you're looking for, this isn't difficult to get through. In fact, as you're working your way forward, you see that there are some if you really look carefully, there's almost like some narrow, wiggly paths that have been left, that if you knew how to get from one building to another, you wouldn't step on this stuff. But you only figure that out by the time you're almost at the office. Yeah. So the last couple of steps, you don't have to clear. The last few, you can see this little area. So you step up into onto the steps. The front door is closed, but you wouldn't expect it to be locked. I mean, it's supposed to be inside one.
It's supposed to be inside a secure location. Yeah.
But there's nothing, no sound, no animals, no people, nothing.
And this looks like a normal door. Like it doesn't look.
Yep. This is it's 2 actually. It's just double doors. And again, like a military place would be, it's got 100 coats of paint on it. Like I said, they do boring work when they're not being military. So, but the latest one is wind blowing. And you can see inside, looking through the window, you can see dust on the floor. It's blown under the door and nobody swept it. It's been days.
Alice will say that. She'll say, it's been days since anyone's been here.
Who is with you? Because I'm not.
Okay. Well, Baptiste
I-
certainly would have gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me
Okay.
limping up behind.
Okay. Out of the darkness, the self-imposed darkness, apparently.
Yeah. By the way, I'm just gonna turn on my light. Excuse me for 2 seconds.
Yeah. Ellie, what are you doing?
I'll go follow Jet. This
Okay,
big
Jet,
building
where are you
is
going?
Confusing.
You know
You're
where
going to
I'm
the-
going.
You're going to the big giant building?
I want to know
Okay.
what this is. Plus, we got to clear a path, so I'm just like,
Yeah,
pop,
so you're
pop, pop.
you guys are rocking your way across the rocked across the tonight. Never mind. You guys are bang. So yeah, Alice, as you step up onto the porch, you hear behind you working their way across the yard. Every once in a while, you hear these
Yeah.
are big explosions, but they're so high pitched that it's not like that
Yeah.
you get from dynamite. I don't know if anybody's ever heard plastic explosives go off. It's a crack. It's just
Is it like the poppers? You know those popper things that you throw?
it happens so fast that your ear can't process the sound. Right? That's why you just hear the poof, and all your clothes go.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm. I guess if the door looks like a normal, not booby trapped door, I'll try to open it.
Yeah, and it opens up. You look inside. There's a reception area, absolutely empty.
And I'm looking for any papers, documents, something that looks like a control panel.
Give me a scrutinize check. Meanwhile, over at the gigantic building, you guys, you discover one of these paths as well. You go, oh, hey, look! If you it's kind of wiggly, but if you can see it, and you walk the last couple yards over to the door. This door is made out of. It must be thick because the outer layer that you can see is like layers of lumber this way, and then strapping top to bottom, big metal straps top to bottom. What would you like to do?
Do these
Ellie, if
doors-
Jet grins any harder, the top of his head is going to fall off like those weird characters in South Park, the Canadians.
I know what he's looking at, what he's thinking of, and I look at him and I'm like, I swear to God, if you leave me out here.
I wouldn't leave you. Oh, sorry, that's not Jet. I wouldn't leave you out here, but I really am fighting the urge to leave it all. I can probably. Well, you know what? This would be a good test. And I grab her by the arm, like just by the hand, and
Yeah.
I try to step back through the door. But I'm trying to pull her in. I want to see if I can phase another person. Like, I don't know if that'd be like double wind or what.
That is interesting.
Ain't it just?
That is.
You pulling me in with your damn
Give me
magic.
we're using spirit for you, right?
Please, I'd love
Is your
to.
prime target? Yeah, give me a spirit check.
Ooh.
You grab, like, you're not even, the way you said that, it's like you didn't even think, you just kind of grabbed her and plunged through the door.
Yep.
You hear in your head Raven's voice going, oh shit, and then the two of you thump through the door. You take double wind. You take 10 wind.
I'm a little concerned now.
Concerned that that she said, "Oh shit," or concerned that you just took Ellie into a potentially compromised location with no backup.
Oh, damn. Is that the voice of reason outside? I can't
I thought you were safe because Guy wasn't here tonight. Well.
Oh. Yeah, well, if she wouldn't have been with me, I was actually going to wait on y'all. But
Well, Miss Ellie, to
Once
be
again,
fair,
this
to Miss Ellie, he reaches out and grabs your wrist. Do you react? He's like, "What the hell?" And then thump, he's pulling you forward, and he goes,
I'll rephrase. I don't react to him grabbing my wrist.
no. And then he falls back through the wall and starts to go through the wall and pulling you towards it.
I like that she just kind of, for a second, she's probably just like, wait, what are you? And then just goes through. So, like, she doesn't even react then. But, like, as soon as they get through, like, she has, like, the pause of, like, you're not sure whether she's about to lecture you or what. And she just kind of, like, falls up against the wall and is just like, oh, my God.
magic.
That was the weirdest thing that has ever happened to me.
And it is pitch black in here. Like you cannot see each other as close as you are.
It's dark.
And your voice
Maybe you
is
should have thought
echoing.
about this before you did it.
Your voice is echoing off these distant walls and distant ceilings.
And so the circle of stupidity once again turns around.
Look, I entirely blame the other half of the team for this, because who goes to the office when you could go here?
The people that realize maybe there are answers in the office about this.
Meanwhile, back in the office.
Yep.
Because this is more fun if we just leave that there for a second.
Knew that.
So we've got Alice, Baptiste, and Lucius. You went as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
My
yes,
scrutinize was not great.
May I assist
great, yeah.
to scrutinize?
Absolutely. You can scroot all you want. And I shall scroot for Baptiste.
Let's see if
Scroot
we do a
real
little
good.
better.
Actually, I don't scroot so good at all. You scrooted better.
He screwed it better. Me and Baptiste screwed it the exact same amount.
We
I must
cannot
redeem
can we not
myself.
make this a verb, please.
So you guys go to you and Baptiste, Alice, go to the desk, the logical place, right? And you're going through it, and there's not just nothing here. There's nothing here. Like it's empty. There's not a piece of paper. There's not a pen. There's not an ink bottle. And he looks at you, and I'm not even going to try to do the voice. He just says, "It would appear that they have taken everything with them, or maybe they were on lockdown or something."
Yeah, this doesn't seem like what the place would look like if they left in a hurry.
No, this was organized. The military, if they are anything, is organized. They have a plan for everything. I just hope they had a plan for whatever this is.
No one nearby seemed to know anything. So what we have so far, what we know, is there's soldiers missing for a week. And we have an empty military base that has been empty for probably just a few days shy of a week.
Hmm.
So one would presume that those two things are connected.
And he just nods. Lucius, you kind of wander off. They've got the desk covered. You go and start looking into offices, like places that the public isn't supposed to go. And the very first one you go into, first give me, you rolled a 10. So just as you're stepping into the room, you stop yourself, like you put your hands up on the door frame and stop yourself and push yourself back. Because just inside the door of this room, there's a puddle on the ground. It's thick, like it's that thick. And it's just kind of slimy and almost chunky.
Let's not disturb the water. I learned my lesson with the jelly beans, I think to myself. So logic my way out of it by first off getting Alice, it's like, and just showing her the thick puddle.
Yep.
Like, what do you suppose this is?
It rises like sort of 3/4 of an inch off the floor, but it's this sort of clear jelly. Doesn't smell like anything.
I mean, I guess I can do a chemistry check to see if I know offhand what it is.
Absolutely, or at least what its properties are.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11. It's kind of tough to see through because, like I said, it's clear, but it's gelatinous, but it's kind of chunky, so it kind of distorts the light. Yeah. But what you notice is right around the edges where it's on the floor, the wood is starting to brown and burn. Very, very slightly. You get the impression, it seems weird given the location, but with an 11, yeah, this seems like it's designed to digest something.
So it's a type of acid.
So I don't think it's explosive.
No, absolutely not. The feeling you get is it seems to be like the equivalent of stomach acid.
Can I do a biology check?
You certainly can. Jet, just joking it back.
So Alice will tell Lucius all that, and she'll say, it looks like something meant to digest something, and it's kind of burning the edges of the wood. I think as long as you don't touch it, you should be fine.
Given his recent experience with don't touch it, this may not be good advice.
I'm not gonna touch it. I just personally, I think it's it's digestive juice, but
I just said that.
Lucius, you are completely convinced that yes, she's right. This is some sort of digestive aid, maybe like a spider's venom or something weird like that. But you are also utterly convinced that it's been here long enough that it's dormant. You're looking at the burn marks in the floor going, that's not recent. That's got to be at least a day old.
Oh, come on. I was going to put a plank of wood over it or something. Okay.
I'm just telling you what your biology roll told you.
So Alice, Alice is...
But I'm still not going to take that risk, and I'm just going to find something that I can put over it, like something like plywood, something
How big is the puddle?
It's about twice the door width, so sort of 6 feet across. Roughly
How wide
round.
Is it?
Can I take the hinges off, say, a door, and just throw it over?
What was your scrutinize? No, it was a...
Nobody's asking the right question.
Actually, somebody give me a scrutinize, one of the two of you.
Okay.
Actually, I'll get Baptiste to do it.
Too bad, somebody could ask the right question if they weren't trapped inside a dark building.
They were
trapped. I'm safe.
Holy shit!
Oh, there it is. Okay.
There a critter in here? Is that the question?
She all of a sudden has a fucking epiphany, apparently.
Well, it happened when you asked about the shape, like how big was it? And what it, for all the world, looks like is that something was in that room, someone or something was in that room, and it was coming towards the door, and something came to the door and sprayed this material because it's slightly cone-shaped.
Okay.
And you also see, you wouldn't have unless you got damn close to a 19. As you're crouched down and looking, you see there's two very fine trails of this stuff that go right between where you're crouched down. Looks like heel marks, like somebody was drugged. They were hit with this stuff and then dragged away.
So I will point all that out to Lucius and I'll say, look, so it looks like someone was in the office, something attacked, and then either that something or something else drug them away.
You don't suppose it's still here, do you?
I suppose if it was, all the explosions outside might have brought it to us.
Do you suppose the explosive were keeping maybe said creature in?
Everybody give me, the two of you, give me a deafness rolls, please.
Oh, damn it.
I'm just gonna pretend like Alice is still talking until whatever.
Yep.
She says, I don't, everything, they didn't leave in a hurry. They left organized based on what we found in the desk. Everything is gone.
We have made more rolls tonight than we have in this
I know.
game.
Tons and tons. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clear the chat after this.
I dig it. It's
you're chatting away, Alice, and
she's theorizing and just
for the third time in minutes, and you are hauled backwards against your will by Baptiste as he dives back out of this room into the common area, and you hear him say over your shoulder, "Sorry, Lucius," as he hauls.
I sacrifice a white chip.
The safety. Hang on. You, Lucius, leap for the door after them, attempting to get out. You slip on the slime, and you start to fall. And you feel something coming down off the ceiling behind you. Jet, the whole time you sit there going...
Too bad you aren't here.
Where'd the puddle come from?
Slams into the back of your neck and and you feel it just hit you like 1,000 pounds of you don't know what, and you are driven face forward into this digestive slime. Alice,
before
you
that
and Baptiste see. I'm just gonna freeze it right there for a second. You and Baptiste see something falls off the ceiling and drives Lucius into the muck. As you step forward and you feel more than see Baptiste make that sort of twitch, and you know his guns are out. It's another big blob of the same stuff that's come loose from the ceiling and fallen down, and it's got him pinned like from the shoulders up, and he's trying to like ass dig his way out backwards.
So it's not a creature, but it's just more
big
like just
blob
a,
of
okay.
this stuff. Yeah. Now, Lucius, face down.
Okay.
It's got you. It's got you by the back of the neck. This was supposed to be inert. Now it's killing you. What are you doing?
That's right. He did think it was inert.
Well, I wanted to spend a chip before it ruined my perfectly nice suit, but
Oh no, that we're way beyond that. There was no damage taken on the bright side.
I'm glad.
But this thing is trying to kill you, as far as you're concerned.
Well, I still had my scythe out, so.
Yep.
Can I give it?
Give me
a
an attack.
slice?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, let's just do the shortcut, shall we? Shovel
Yep,
scythe.
should be right down at the bottom of your page. Boom. A 7 for 4 points of damage to its guts, whatever that means. A 7 though. You, Miss Alice and Baptiste.
God.
He Baptiste looks at you and says, "This ought to be fun." And Lucius starts to flail in this slime. He's just like scythe is just going everywhere, just ninja moves, and he's trying to stand up and just flailing madly. There's goo flying in all directions. Lucius, it's off your shoulders. It's the way you might as well be free. You look up, and Miss Alice laughing? Because Baptiste sure as hell is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as he's not visibly being injured.
No.
Like.
No,
yeah.
You, the two of you, yeah, you come up and it's all in your face and running down your side is slipping in your hands, and they're just killing themselves.
Alice will try to cut at it with her ghost steel dagger and see if that will make any like.
Yeah. So Lucius, I'm assuming you sort of stop flailing at some point.
Yeah.
You're
I'm just pissed now.
Covered in this slime. It's running down the front of you, and yeah, it burns a little bit, but it's not doing any damage. It's just like it feels like wherever it hit you on open skin, it feels like sunburn. Like it stings, but it's not hideous. So it turns out it is still active.
Having a.
Oh wait,
Wow.
no, JK, I don't want to touch it, but I have. If he stops flailing, does it look like he can get out?
Oh yeah, yeah. He
Okay.
just has to walk carefully. He's covered in this stuff though.
Okay. Well, then Alice is just gonna continue to laugh then and not do
Okay.
anything.
You can come out of the room.
So
Yeah,
was it?
just hats actually just drooped down this time?
Now it's Oh, and there's like the whole brim has got. You know how when you go out in the snow, in the, like that big, thick, heavy snow, and you walk a long ways with a hat on, and it gets all up around the brim. It's like that, but it's that slimy stuff, and it keeps dripping off, and there's like strings of it hanging down.
All I have to say is like I'm really glad I bought extra materials and more to make a new suit.
Yeah, he's now blasted and slimed.
I'm not having a good day.
And he stumbles out of that, or slipping because he's walking in this slime. Meanwhile, back in the darkness, I just looked at the time. Let's take a break. Let's
Knew
do
that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back in the darkness, let's take a break. We will be back
Meanwhile,
about
in
20
the
minutes. Yeah.
back in the eternal void of
Uh.
all that is unholy, let's find out what's going on here at 451 when we come back in about 20 minutes. Enjoy these videos during the break. Woo-wee, all right. I'd like to start off by apologizing for the technical difficulties we've had this evening, but I hope you'll stick with us because I have seen in many of the possible futures from this point forward that this channel will be getting a little bit of a technological upgrade, and in a majority of those, that will happen as soon as next week. So stick with us. Try to keep it smooth through the rest of the broadcast tonight, but in the meantime, let's go check back in with Kevin and see who's about to get blown up.
Yes.
It's gonna be me again.
Yeah, let's just pull it right back down to this particular multiverse version of the thing.
Yep.
And here we are, back in Fort 51. Disgusting, slime-covered Undertaker, oozing goo from every orifice, standing in the office, being laughed at uproariously by a Southern belle and a Southern gentleman who should probably know better.
Just here for
But
the
wouldn't
adventure.
stop even if they did.
See, he's fine.
And yes, he is clearly uninjured. His, other than his shame, his pride, and his dignity, nothing is injured. Meanwhile, in the pitch black, echoing darkness,
Do you have a lantern?
You mean this thing I just lit? Yes.
you got to watch him. He does physical and sound effects. He's amazing.
Yeah, no, we got a lantern, so I don't know what's
Jet.
going on.
This, I mean, you know, from outside, this building's like 120 feet long, right? And you're at one corner of it. You hit the lantern and turn it up to full bright and point it out into the middle of the room, and it reflects off metal. Ripped, torn metal. And you can adjust lanterns, so you kind of have to widen the beam to get a better view. It's like a 80-foot long cigar-shaped tube. Comes to a point at one end, and that end's kind of leaning on the ground, like touching the ground like this, and it's clearly smushed, like its back is broken. It is crashed at some point very hard into something, and they've taken that wreckage and put it here. So the ass end of it's up like that, and on that ass end there's three of these big fins that curve up, and this big black hole in the back that looks like at some point there might have been fire in it. All around the walls, as you shine around, there's like bits of girder of this same sort of, it's a weird metal. It doesn't look like any metal you've seen before. It doesn't reflect, like, it's not shiny. It's kind of a matte finish. But there's these bent and twisted girders near your feet as you're panning around. It's kind of a shock moment because there's this multicolored and in the corner of your vision, and you look down and it's a bunch of wires, you realize, but each one of them is individually wrapped in colored rubber tubes somehow. Your light kind of comes back around. This thing's huge. Looks like it's got portholes down the side, but it is also, as big as it is also clearly wrecked.
Can we see if we can tell what this room's like initial purpose is?
You guys give me scrutinizing. Do me some scrutinizing by lantern light. That sounds like a country song right there. We scrutinize by the lamp of light.
Jet's on,
And even with
right?
the singing, it didn't help. Jet still can't see nothing. Ellie, as you guys sort of move into the space to get the lanterns onto this to get better light, you kind of, again, you look down and you see there's the floor in this place is uniform, like it's one solid piece of, like it concrete almost. But you happen to look down because something catches your eye, and there's a line in the concrete, and you kind of shine your lantern. We'll assume you both got one. You shine yours back and forth and realize it's in a curve, and you think, if your math is right, it looks like there's a big circle in the middle of this chamber. So the chamber is 120 feet across. This thing seems to be like maybe 10 feet bigger than this craft. So it's maybe 90 feet around. But there's a definite separation between that circle of stuff and the rest of the floor of this room as you get closer. You look back up, and from where you are, you can kind of see in through these portholes too. And all you can see is like you get the lantern shining just right, and you can see like all the way across on the wall of the other side. Like it looks like there's nothing inside this cigar-shaped thing. Looks like it's hollow.
I don't know what the hell this is.
Oh, I have no idea. Is there any other? Does it seem like there's any other rooms, or you said it seemed like this was like 3 stories? Is there like a stairs or?
What there is you kind of have to move sort of slightly around this thing that's sort of in the middle of the room, and as you move to the side, maybe you're following that circle to make sure it goes all the way around or something. In the very far corner, there's like a little like a shed that's just been built into the corner of this huge area. And it looks like it's probably no more than 10 or 12 feet square. Rickety old door hanging off of it.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can peek in. I'm not gonna step in though.
No, so you're gonna go over and look at that, Jet?
I'm staying close
to
Ellie.
Okay, I had to make sure. There's a lot of things you could have stayed close to. So you go over to that little shed in the back, and you can see through the doors slightly open. All that's in there is a table and a chair. Just a little wooden table and chair. Make another scrutinize check for me. Particularly Ellie, because you were the one that went in the room. Okay. And Jet.
Oh, sorry.
I thought I just said particularly Ellie. Yours will just have a higher DC.
Oh well,
that's not going to do it.
Didn't mean
neither one of those is going to do it.
That's a table. Miss Ellie. That is.
And he's pointing at the chair. Yeah. Yeah, Jet's kind of looking in there going, okay, that's weird. Ellie, you realize that there is, maybe because you saw the line outside, in this room, the floor is the same sort of concrete material, but one section of it, about 3 feet square, is 3 feet circle, is this same, there's this same circle cut. It looks like it's almost like it's cut into it. But this one, there's a clear place to put your fingers and lift.
I'm gonna point that out to Jet, and I'm just gonna say, it seems so dumb, but I want to so bad.
What the hell? So wait, just so I understand, because I don't know if I zoned out for a moment or something, but it's like it's in the side, and it's just where your fingers go in and you lift.
Yeah, like a almost like a manhole cover, except they've just got the little hole that you put the bar in, but this is just like a slot in the top of this that you just reach in and grab. It looks like you just reach in and grab and lift it.
Oh, okay.
Like in the side of a box to help you lift it.
Well, I guess that was what brothers are for, and I leaned down and just put my hand in it and pull.
And when you pull, it comes, but there's a tiny bit of a delay, and then it goes poof. And you realize, you look inside this, it's concrete, it's stone top, just like the rest of this floor. But on the bottom of that, there's like, it takes you a second to realize what it is, but it's a very fine leather, like a seal. And it's covered in grease. It's designed, you look down, and where this slides into the tube that it just came, you look down and you're looking down at a round tube with stairs, or not stairs, but ladder in one side. But that slime is on the inside of this tube as well. It looks like somebody used this combination of leather and this material, which is, I don't want to say slime because it's not the same stuff that they saw upstairs. This is man-made. It looks like they used it to try and seal this tunnel airtight. And you look down, and there's just a ladder that goes straight down into the darkness. You shine the lantern down, it goes about 30 feet down. And you can see the bottom and a door off to one side.
Look, I know that coming in here might have been a little foolish. Yeah, I like that better. But I feel like we probably
Should
shouldn't
we?
go. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
maybe we should open the front door. That might be a good idea, so those, other folks can get in here. And then,
Yeah, if we can find a door.
but then we're going through the hole because I'm not waiting for them to look at everything on the wall and look at it for 5 hours.
There's other places. This place is huge. We can look around at the other stuff before climbing into the scary hole, which is probably slightly hidden, so they might not see it for a while.
Yeah, but I mean, there's gotta be something down there, right? There's gotta be something.
Let's find a door and then we'll talk.
He doesn't learn.
Fair enough. I'm in here. I did not have anything bad happen to me.
Me neither.
So the two of you are, just to be clear, closing the hatch?
Yeah, for now, I guess.
Okay.
Just.
Yeah. And back out to search the rest of the room?
Yeah.
I think we're looking for a way to open whatever that door, that big sealed thing we came in through non-corporeal means.
Okay. Well, back in the main area, there's a couple options, because there is that human-sized door that you guys went through in the wall, and you would have seen when you came through it, it's just got a latch on the inside. It was locked, but from the inside, you don't lock it from the inside, right? You can unlock it from this side and open it up. So that's not a problem. There's also these big, I'll just call them hangar doors because I don't have any other word to use for them. These shuttered doors along the side, and those look like they are opened by pulling chains. There's a whole series of pulleys, so you're going to have to pull a ton of chain to get these doors open, but it looks like it's designed to do 1 or 2 people to do the job. I don't know if you guys know how pulleys work, but with enough pulleys, if you're willing to pull enough miles of chain, you can lift just about anything.
I guess, in theory, that would make it a little more light in here.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get the far one. And then, yeah.
You guys one each, or are you going to just let Jet do them? Or
No, 1 each.
Okay. Oh, I'm a bastard. Are you going to race?
I'm not.
I don't care.
Does nobody's got the urge. If it was Baptiste, there'd be a freaking race.
Baptiste isn't here.
Get here. It's like, oh, damn it.
Jet's just like the little 8-year-old boy. When he's around his friends, he misbehaves.
Yeah.
But when his friends aren't there, he's fine.
I would like to say this is Baptiste's fault. Because if he's around me, there's problems. If he's around Alice, there's problems.
Well, he's also an 8-year-old boy, but
Yeah, except he knows what it's like to be 80.
yes, he's an 8-year-old boy who knows way too much about guns.
Who's been there, done that.
Oh, Lord.
So you guys come back out and start searching around the rest of the area. I'll just tell you what you guys find. All the stuff against the wall is clearly wreckage. It's been taken out from the inside of whatever this craft is. Once you get around to looking inside of it, it has been absolutely stripped of everything that's inside it. You can see where the girders were attached. They've either been cut or unbolted. You can see mounts where things have been taken off. Everything is gone. There's no pilot furniture in here. There's no control panels. There's no seating. There's no framework left. Whatever was at the back causing the fire to come out, there's nothing left there either. This is an empty tube, basically.
I feel like between this and the planted landmines, I feel like this place wasn't abandoned for no reason. This screaming planned trap.
I mean, we've been fine so far. Well, and then I remember the jellybeans.
Yeah, I just brush my arm and then the blood comes away from my wounded arm. Yeah, we've been totally unscathed.
I could probably fix that for
Don't you dare.
I don't have to do that every time, I found out that there are other means of getting the same ability. I can rack it up over time. That's why you see me. Actually, I don't know if any of y'all see me doing that. Never mind. But anyway, there's other ways.
Chet starts to boogie to music you can't hear. I'll be with you in a couple hours. Dancing like a raven.
Yeah, I'll live. I guess, is there any ways to go upstairs?
There isn't really an upstairs. It's this tall so that this ship, we'll call it what it is, the top of it doesn't hit the ceiling.
Okay, so it's just
So
the
whatever this
one
building is, this
massive room.
building, it was basically built for this piece of equipment. That's why it's so new. Right?
So can we tell on the inside that it is as tall as it is because the ship is that tall?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it is somebody measured the wreckage and built a building and then brought the wreckage to the building through these big giant doors in the front. Speaking of which, you guys were opening those, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
And then for theming, I'm gonna open the other door and call out to the others.
yeah, well, like you start opening the doors, and as that happens, the three of you, two of you still giggling, one of you still giggling, pulling slime out of your eyes, step carefully out of the office, look around, and see these huge doors on this massive building starting very, very slowly to separate, and there's no sign of Jet and Ellie.
The laughter stops immediately, I imagine, for
Mhm.
both Baptiste and Alice. And it's
It's so quiet out here. All you can hear is the wind and the chains. Somebody's pulling chains.
it's a look to Baptiste,
Guns are already out.
gun on the shoulder.
Pistols are already out.
Say it out again. I'm like, this is very eerie.
Yeah.
Just keep opening. How wide are you guys opening these doors?
I was gonna open them all the way.
Okay. It's taking time. I mean, but yeah, you guys they're just getting wider and wider, and pretty soon the sun starts to pour in. And for you guys inside, it's quite a view because you know how when you look through a sunbeam and all the dust is in it? I mean, you're in a desert, so that there's a lot of dust and it's kind of sparkling. But when the light hits that thing, it's the weirdest metal you've ever seen. It looks like somebody scratched it with an infinitely small brush until it was matte finish. There's no shine or reflection to it at all. In places, it looks like it ripped like paper. It doesn't look like steel. It doesn't, like, steel breaks, right? This stuff rips. And it weighs next to nothing. You can pick up one of these 10-foot girders with one hand.
Are they strong? Like if you do pull at them, do they?
Oh yeah, you try and bend them, and yeah, they are absolutely rigid.
Ooh, I need to talk to Lucius.
Yeah, he'd probably know what this metal is.
He could probably make me some right nice chaps out of them.
Is that all good for you all? It's making good things right there.
Hey, we didn't throw you in a puddle.
Yeah, we haven't laughed at you once today.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You're on Lucius's good list, okay?
Alright, well I guess there's probably nothing else in this room to
If this door just
look
keeps
at.
opening, I imagine Alice is. How far is that building away from us?
It's to the near corner. You can see a small sort of human-sized door on the near corner of it. That's about 100 feet away, but you remember what this yard is, and you look and you can see this sort of serpentine path to get you over there through the mines.
Alice on this one is actually going to follow Baptiste's lead.
We're dancing after all, and he just starts jogging down this little trail.
And she's like
glinting in the
she
sun.
She like looks down at her dress, and she's like, I can't.
Mhm.
That, and she just tries to keep up with him as best she can.
Lifts her, yeah. Oh, I guess you're not lifting your skirt up because you got your rifle in both hands, right?
Yep.
So yeah, you're shuffling across. You done up the buttons, and yeah, you're ready to go. Lucius, you are sliming along behind him.
Oh yeah, just like following behind, just getting as much.
And you
as
said
I can off.
you've got the scythe open and ready to go.
Yeah, I probably have my hair slicked back with the gel.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah. Yeah, you are that kid that used too much gel, down to the waist, like that. You're just coated in it. Oh, I just made myself throw up a little bit in the back of my mouth.
Now that there's light in this room, can we see anything else, or is it?
Yes, you guys see from the inside. These guys see from the outside. This shape. I guess it's cigar shaped. It's a spaceship. I'll call it what it is. You guys wouldn't know what to call it, but it's a crashed spaceship.
We found the
Bent in
aliens.
half. The front half of it is smushed up like this. It is like, it's not a saucer. It's an old school pulp fiction 1920s cigar shaped stand on its backside rocket ship with the curvy fins and the portholes in it, and yeah, all of that, and the stuff sticking out and all of that. It has clearly been, you guys inside know it's clearly been gutted. But that is, you guys from a distance, it is transparently obvious this thing is supposed to be flying through the air. At least.
Alice is just kind of in wonder at this, kind of walking up towards it, and I imagine she's just very quiet. And she's just kind of rifle still drawn. And just, I imagine under her breath, there's probably like a, what in the hell is that?
Have they reached the hangar yet?
I think you guys kind of stopped when the door started to open, right? Was that it, or did you? Oh no, you said you continued forward. So yeah, you guys get. Yeah, you can see. You guys see out and see the three of them approaching at an angle. Or we'll say Ellie does, because you guys are off at the opposite ends. So.
Yeah. I'm just gonna call out to Lucius. Found a medal you might not have ever seen before.
Perking up a bit, forgetting about the slime. Just, where is it?
And I'm at this point, Ellie actually sees Lucius and is just, what the hell happened to you?
Oh yeah, he's glistening in the sun in a very bad way.
Just give a look like I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
My head
And
just
I look,
popped.
I glare at Alice and Baptiste like, don't you dare say one goddamn word.
My head just pops around the corner. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
And
I
the
give him the
momentum-
look and the stare, like the voice
Yeah.
and the stare.
And these big, heavy doors, they got some momentum now. They're sort of continuing to open on their own as you guys sort of meet at the entryway. Now the light is in here. You can see this for what it is.
Amazing.
And now that the light is in here, Ellie, you can clearly see that is exactly what you thought. It looks like the trap door, but out here on a much bigger scale.
Alice says that, and so they're within talking distance right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. You guys are down to.
Alice says there was nothing in the office, not a pen, not a single piece of paper, not anything. It didn't appear like it might have been done in a hurry, but this was extremely organized.
Well, they had enough time to strip whatever this is of pretty much everything.
Do we think this has only been here a few days, or could this have been here much longer, though?
This appears to be. Well, give me. Oh man, we made a lot of rolls tonight. Whew.
I know.
Give me another scrutinize.
It's fine. We're playing a game or something.
This is how it's supposed to go. Apparently, this is how some people do this. They're rolling all over the place. It's much newer than the rest of the Palisade, but it's got the same sort of week's worth of dirt on it. So nobody's been in here for a week, but it's older than that, but not as old as the rest of the place.
Oh God!
You had to guess a matter of months.
Okay.
Could I expect the medal that that I was told to check out?
Yep. Give me a geology.
Geology?
Yep. I just like to mispronounce words.
Geology.
Geology. He's a friend of mine.
Geology.
He's not allowed to leave his house now.
Dang.
There you go.
Lucius knows all about rocks and shit.
He does. And this particular rock is well, depends how you want to pronounce it. Aluminum or aluminium?
Aluminum. This is aluminum.
Aluminum. Yes, this is aluminum, which is, you would know, I mean, you're a tinkerer too. this is like the latest metal on the market. This just happened in this form to be able to make sheet aluminum here. And this is thinner than anything you've ever seen. The beams, on the other hand, are something altogether different. They've got all the same properties, but they're way more rigid.
So it's all made of aluminum.
No, this other material is
Okay.
not aluminum, but you don't know what it is. But it's that same sort. It's got that same sort of super light weight, but it is incredibly strong. Aluminum you can twist and torque and bend. Even if you make a beam out of it, it's not very strong except in one direction. This stuff is like stronger than steel, but lighter than. It's the same weight as aluminum, but you don't know what it is.
Alright.
It's also got a weird finish to it. It's a matte finish, but it doesn't look like it's been brushed. It looks like this is just how it is.
Interesting. So I explained that this is the latest metal, the aluminum part. As for that other metal, I have no idea what that is, but it's fascinating.
Alice says, I hate to say these words, but I don't know what any of this is.
Amazing is what it is. Baptista's just walking around this thing, just looking at it.
Could I try an engineering check? For science.
Yeah, give it a shot. Yeah.
And you said these beams are they're just laying around, like we can pick them up.
Yep, absolutely. It looks like they were the structural components inside this, holding this together, and they were just pulled out
Well, hot damn.
when they gutted the rest of it. And that's what you figure out, Lucius. This is these are the beams that, from what you can see, some of the ends of them are slightly twisted or broken. There's places where there's bolt holes where their bolts have been sheared off, things like that. These appear to be the damaged ones, the internal components from this. Like, so what you've got on this floor, what you realize, everything on this floor is wreckage. None of it's useful.
Yes. So it can't be even like used to like smelt or.
You could melt the aluminum, but it is the latest technology. You need a place to work aluminum. That's not something you could do even in a forge. Aluminum
Yeah.
is difficult.
Yeah.
And the other stuff, you haven't got a clue. You don't even know how hot you'd have to get it to melt it. The other stuff, you haven't got the foggiest idea.
I would be curious about mixing aluminum with ghost rock.
Good luck with that.
Well, wait, do you share this with us? The fact that you can't work with it?
Yeah, I do. It's like this is really fascinating, but I thought about seeing if I could maybe use some of this scrap metal, but I can't work with this. It's too what's the word I'm looking? Inflexible.
You turn around as you're saying that, and Jet's just holding the beam, looking at you, all like, oh, and just drop.
Ellie's just
Alice
gonna
is-
pat.
When you thought you had a treasure.
Alice wants to find a little scrap.
Yep.
And she's gonna go over away from everybody, not like hiding, but like
Yep.
a safe distance away from everybody else, and try some chemical experiments on this.
On the other stuff?
Yeah.
And if I may, I'm gonna just take some small scraps for souvenirs.
Sure. Go ahead and make that roll.
And I'm trying
While I
to
look
pour.
something up.
I'm trying to see like how it reacts with mercury and bromine and some of the other chemicals that I have on hand.
That's gonna have to. How did you roll? A 7? No.
7.
No. You have no idea what this is. Like it doesn't react with stuff like that should. It's inconsistent. You don't have a clue. There might even be a finish on it, like a coating maybe. It's really hard to tell.
Okay.
But
All
you
right.
don't gain much information from that at all.
And
Unfortunately.
Alice just kind of puts her kit back up and
Yep.
and walks back over. And Alice is gonna set up and take a picture of this. It's not a ghost still picture. It's just,
Yep.
just a
Just a regular picture, absolutely. And yeah, imagine ye old crash imagine every 1920s pulp fiction magazine you've ever seen. That spaceship, that image without the bikini-clad, green-skinned alien girl. This is 2010 or 2020 now. That's right. It's been a decade. It's 2020 now, so she's not there. But yeah, the crashed alien spaceship, the cigar-shaped ship, is there.
Okay.
And
The
we're
Buck
all
Rangers.
inside with our faces pressed against the windows.
Yeah. Take my picture, Miss Alice.
And just to see, that's okay.
Yeah,
It's
it's
good.
not bad.
That's not one that I'm willing to respend a chip for.
Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna look at Jet and be like, well, now that everybody's here, I want to do some exploring.
To the hole.
To the hole.
Yeah, there's a hole, and Lucius is trying to say something, but his words don't work so good.
Sorry.
Your face isn't working.
Sorry, I still have some slime in my mouth. Anyway.
Ew.
And now
Speaking
there's
of
a chin,
which,
now there's a chin droolie swinging as he talks.
Lovely.
just before we go off wandering, I wouldn't go alone. As you can see, I'm slimed. I don't think we're alone.
Well,
Alice, do you share what you and what you told Baptiste and or did you even tell Baptiste that you figured out that this was digestive juices?
I told him because I figured it out first.
Yes.
We were theorizing
So I
between
told him.
the two of us. So
When you got slammed.
Yeah, when you fell in it.
Yeah. So do you share? You guys share that with this?
yeah,
And
Yeah.
and on the other side of that, do you guys share the tiny room in the back with them with the trapdoor?
yeah.
Okay.
And we want to check it out.
And I figured we should ask them, as much as I'm loath to do so, why they think that it was sealed away. Look at all this Vaseline on the lid. I don't know why it's there.
It's a 19 scrutinize.
That is Vaseline, yes.
Why the chemical compound for that is
Actually, you
Vaseline.
just beat me to it, and I just checked, and yes, it is. Vaseline was invented now. So,
Yep. All right.
Way to go, Jet.
I'm big smart.
yeah,
Big
So, yeah,
brain.
well,
to-
yeah.
Brain.
yeah. Unfortunately, it was Alice that figured that out with her high scrutinize roll.
Is that all I figure out with a 19? Is that it's Vaseline?
It's Vaseline. This is it's been used to air seal this tunnel that goes down, and you can feel a slight draw of air going down the tunnel from where you are.
Ooh, like a negative pressure situation.
Yes, precisely a negative pressure situation, which you would know from your photographing. You use to keep odors and smells and stuff in places so it
Mhm.
doesn't come out.
Real world, I know that because I used to be an assistant project manager for an HVAC company.
Yes.
So Alice will say, well, based on what we saw in the office, we've got weird jelly beans. There was this weird goo that's hanging all over Lucius. And this is basically down there is a negative pressure. So if you feel, and she'll kind of show them, like if you put your hand here, you can feel the air kind of pulling downwards into the hole.
Yep. Now that the door is open, you can feel it.
And she says, and this was an airtight seal. So I imagine, based on what's happened here, I feel like something got out that wasn't supposed to get out. And that's what has happened here.
So why is the hole, sealed up?
Because if the thing was down there that wasn't supposed to get out, I imagine the people up here were trying to seal it in.
So probably not a great idea to go down and disturb it.
and we
Right.
just
is what
disarmed all
I'm
the
getting from
traps.
this.
And we disarmed all the traps too.
I know I didn't go to, school. I don't know.
Okay. Not sure why you said it like that. School is actually a
Yeah.
very wonderful thing to do, but okay.
Whoa, I'm just saying, why would you try to hold something in with Vaseline? It's not particularly, and I just kind of do that with the lid a couple times.
What if the thing you were trying to hold in couldn't do that?
Couldn't push the door open.
Precisely. Or if it was chemical in some way.
I mean, there is a ladder, so maybe it can't climb ladders. I don't know. I also didn't go to a school, but I'm presuming when an army base cleans out because of something, I don't really want to disturb that something.
Yeah, homeschool, and it's a high five.
So what you're saying is that you wanted to repeat exactly what I said, but just make it your idea instead. That's fine. But
no, what I'm trying to do is get it through Jet's thick skull.
Yeah, she speaks whatever language I speak. I don't speak that. That pressure system, digestive juices, bromine.
Academia?
Yeah, books? Do y'all even... Lord.
Jargon, as I think you might be the word you're searching for.
Sure. I don't know what jars have to do with this, but yeah.
The point is...
What's Jet's cognition? I can't help but feel it just dropped a couple of points.
2d6.
The
It's
point...
what?
Oh, I feel like Baptiste.
Yeah, you're all good. Yeah, I should have known you were playing this correctly. I should have known.
The point being, yeah, my
Baptiste
cognition is
would say-
5d10. So, the point being that clearly something got out or tried to get out, because it looked in the office like someone was attacked by that thing, by something that shot that goo, that digestive acid out of its mandible, I assume.
Well, why don't we put the lid back on and
Or perhaps
assume that's what
some sort
happened
of-
to Eve?
Some sort of gun with that. I don't.
Well, if there
Look
ain't
at her looking at my face for clues because I gave you one on that first one.
so we're
Is it,
Choosing to ignore
I
your
feel-
face.
I feel Baptiste would probably say, well, we have a jarring dilemma here, but I think we should figure out something right now.
I'm sure Baptiste, you want to go
This
down.
is why you group play. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Baptiste,
and
you
you do the
definitely
voice.
want to go down this hole.
Oh God! Now they're fighting over Baptiste.
Yeah, 'cause he wants to go down this hole, don't you? Yeah, dude, Jet.
I honestly, young Baptiste probably does want to go
Oh
down.
hell
this
yes, he
Probably.
does. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Cocks the gun.
In fact, Miss Alice, you can't help but notice he has sort of interposed himself between you. When you did your little search, when you stood back up, he kind of did that real subtle thing where he kind of stepped between you and the hole, like without saying words. He's saying, I'm going first. You're not going first anymore.
It was my decision to let him go first, coming over here in the first place.
If she tried anything, I feel Baptiste would pinch her ass, like winks and just goes down.
I am not doing that.
No, he's a gentleman.
You're right. I'm sorry. Okay,
Time
I
and
took
place.
it too
Time
far.
and place.
So,
All right.
look.
So,
Sorry.
Alice
Hey,
is like,
Ryan.
okay, and because she knows that she can't climb down this ladder holding her gun, but she is going to sling it over her shoulder in a way that it's like easily accessible.
We got 3 seconds
This is
ago
a
saying don't do
small
this.
tube.
Yeah, also
This
we
tube's
have
like
dibs.
4 feet across, right? So, you guys want to go first?
Yeah, we found this hole. If everybody's going first,
And Alice says, by the way, how did you get in here? Was the door unlocked? The door was unlocked in the office.
it was not unlocked. I'm magic.
I just
Oh, and then-
roll
oh,
my
okay.
eyes.
So you got in and then let Ellie in.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, never
The
mind.
jet. Okay.
Yeah, sure. If you want to believe that, and I go ahead and start climbing down the ladder.
And she goes, what do you mean? As she's like,
What do you mean?
mean.
I can't hear you. Something about a low pressure zone.
Negative pressure.
I'm gonna follow down after him, even
Okay.
muttering the whole time about stupid voice.
Negative pressure.
Baptiste lets the two of you go first, and then he'll go. and
I'll
then-
go first. Allons-y. And down we go.
And So the first one to the bottom is, what did we do? We had Jet, and then Ellie, and then Baptiste, and then who's next?
Oh, I
Lucius?
thought it was the middle. I thought
Oh,
it
you were
was
going to go in the middle,
but
and then Baptiste, and then Miss Alice at the end?
Yeah, I guess the one with the skirt that can be looked up is going
Yep,
last.
you're going last. Yep. Mhm.
Don't worry, Alice. I won't be looking up your skirt.
Speaking of it, yeah,
It'll be your
if you
boyfriend,
check
so.
on the way down, you notice you never see anything but the top of Baptiste's hat.
I have no doubt.
Oh, well, here's the thing, too. Here's my moment to play Baptiste. I'm gonna say that before they were getting in, Lucius was probably trying to be polite. And he
Yep.
was like, oh, and I feel like Baptiste kind of did that hard, like, nope, you're going. Like,
Yep. Yep. A gentleman to the end.
And I imagine there's a point. Too where Alice probably, because it's dark, right? Pretty dark.
Yeah.
I imagine there's a point where Alice like almost slips, and she just like clutches to the ladder,
Mhm.
and she just like looks down at Baptiste, and she's like, "Oh shit!"
And you guys get to the bottom of the ladder. Jet, you first. There is a little open area down here that's about big enough for half a dozen people. There's also some lanterns in the corner to be taken from this point as well. The rest of you make your way down one at a time. And if you look at the map now, you guys are in the very top left-hand corner. If all you see is blackness, that's where you should be, is in the top left-hand corner of your map.
oh, no. I'm getting
Ahead of you,
flashbacks.
there is a flight of stairs that goes down.
I will
the
take out
darkness.
my lantern.
Yep. Like you said, there's lanterns there, so you can just grab them and move them with you so that you can see what you can see.
Yeah.
The stairs go
Okay.
down. Each one of these spaces, remember, it's been a long time since we used the map, so I should probably remind you, each space is 2 yards. And if and when, gosh, should it happen, we end up in combat, you can move a number of boxes in each complete round equal to your movement. So if you have a movement of 6, you can move 6 boxes. But if on any one, you know how each one of your cards is a turn, if on any one of those turns you move more than half your movement, things just got weird, but never mind. You move over half your movement, you get a penalty to everything else you do.
Oh, boy.
So can you guys see the map?
Yeah.
Top left-hand corner with the stairs. Yes, that stairs going down. You guys are already heading down the stairs.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just
Um,
trying to get. Okay, I was trying to get to a point to where I could pick up my token and the lantern at the same time. I got it now.
So
yes,
each,
you can group them. Yeah,
each square is 5 or 1?
is 2 yards.
Oh, okay. And if your pace is, say, 10, who knows?
Then you
It's
can
an
go 20
arbitrary
yards,
number.
which is 10 spaces.
Got it. Okay.
So say you draw 2 cards.
Mm-hmm.
If on one of those turns you move more than 5 spaces, everything else you do on that turn will be at a penalty.
Got it.
But as long as you move less than that on each one of those turns, then you're fine.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. So, marching order going down the stairs, the same thing. Jet, you're going first.
I would love to.
Yeah.
All right. I will drag Baptiste along behind you guys. You make your way down this first. It's only, like I said, 6 or 8 yards and around a corner, and you peek around the corner and you see it goes down the other way, another 6, 8 yards, and it turns back in this direction again. So go ahead and lead on.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Let me get that.
Yeah, you can
lantern.
turn the lanterns. They're kind of annoying, but oh, have I got camera? I bet he can't. Oh, he can see us. Good, I can see them now. Okay,
Oh, it's a corner, y'all. It's a corner.
another corner. Yes.
Oh, good.
Y'all remember that one time we went in that cave and there were corners?
And
It
you
was
blew up?
no, not that cave. The first cave.
The cave
I
with
think-
Alan.
We just met you, Ellie. I remember you little stowaway.
Oh, that cave. I have that picture.
As
Yeah.
you sneak down the stairs, discussing past events at full volume.
Like smart people.
Keeps
Yeah.
moving.
Keep
And
on going. There's another corner, and then the stairs continue down.
Oh my God.
You hear
Sure.
behind you, Baptiste says, "This is what we used to call eminently defensible terrain."
I think it still is what you call that, darling.
And he starts to follow along behind you. Of course, pistols in hand.
Yeah, the
He
rifles.
is- I'm just dragging his token along. He is, like I said, he's in front of. He was in 4th place in the row. I just.
Yeah, it's
All right.
In fact,
I'm
we
having
can-
some token drift, Tokian drift problems.
Tokian
over
drift.
here.
Yeah, I'm having some problems too.
If you lose one, let me know. I can grab it for you. It does happen.
Oh,
Why
Lord.
can't I?
So finally, Jet, when you turn that last corner, you see ahead of you, set into the wall, a large metal door. This is a solid metal door made out of the same stuff as the spaceship.
Oh, that's good. It ain't ghost steel.
And you walk up to it, and
Well, first I'm gonna see if there's a door handle or a button.
there is a door handle on it.
I don't like the way you said that, Marshall.
I don't like the way Marshall
I
says
would
most
suggest you're
things.
slightly paranoid when I tell you that all there is a door handle, and you, oh, I don't like that.
I don't like it when
That's
there's
clearly a trap.
Sure, why not? I'll try to open that door.
Click, door opens.
Well, that's handy.
Ain't it just?
Go to here.
Now I don't have to be slightly more tired going into the next room.
Slightly more
Get rid of
tired.
that.
But at this point, you probably have your wind back, right?
Right, but I'm always tired.
Just before you step further in, you open that door, and the first thing you see is on your right-hand side. It's not laying on the floor. I just put it there so you can see it. On the right-hand side, there's a cork board with messages held to it with pins. Nice military precision messages. Each one is sort of a quarter of an inch away from the one next to it, except for this ripped out page. It appears to be ripped out of a book, and it's pinned to the corkboard right over top of everything else.
Does it? I guess I should move toward it and read it. Is it
You
so? It's
step
on the
up to it?
wall.
Yeah, it's pinned. It's a cork board,
Oh,
like a
gotcha.
message board on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, I'll just step forward and kind of hold that lantern up.
All right, let me find it. One other thing happens while I do this. One other thing happens while that happens. You notice as you step into this hallway, the whole hallway starts to light up. There's these rectangular boxes on the roof that start to flicker and put off this sort of vibrating bluish light.
Don't like
Oh my God! It's those. I know it's those light bulbs.
These do not exist at the time. The fluorescence did not exist at this time, but they
That's
do here.
just-
We're gonna get abducted by aliens.
We don't know
Nope.
about aliens.
Where's my note?
Ellie? Yeah.
Anna thinks we're getting abducted by aliens.
We're gonna get magics. Everybody knows this is where you keep the good magic
In the creepy
Fluorescent
dungeon.
bulbs.
in the creepy dungeon.
Also, I got a feeling we're gonna get real Baptiste before we get out of here.
Y'all, wait a minute. I'm having a real hard time reading this. I don't know.
He is. He's having such a hard because he's having trouble finding the page that it was actually written on a long time
He's-
ago.
Jet's dyslexic.
I mean, he
It
done
says-
said that he didn't do no schooling, so
It says, and you can read. It says they finally. It's written in a very rapid handwriting, like somebody was in a hurry. It's almost scratched through the page in the intensity. It says they finally got Corporal Tanner. They're so much stronger than they look. They'd have had me too, but they had to go back downstairs to recharge their pistols. I can't lock this door. There's no keys. So I'm going upstairs to await reinforcements. I'll stick around until they come banging on the door, then I'm gone. And it is very rapidly signed Lieutenant W. Reed. And then almost like an afterthought, in brackets after that, it says soon to be deceased.
Remember what I said about not disturbing what's down here?
You know, I'm really starting to think Miss Ellie might be right.
you were the one that wanted to.
You
It's
know, why don't we all just turn back and leave and not disturb whatever charging pistols are happening down
Because
here?
I want to know what Kevin built.
that's kind of the problem I'm in right now.
There's
Is like,
still a whole bunch of soldiers that need to be rescued.
I feel like Baptiste would probably say, well, we're past the point of no return. And I would just try to look at him like, are we?
Well, Miss Alice, you saw the heel drag marks.
Yeah.
So you know that at least one person who was in a soldier's office has been dragged off. So there is the possibility, at least, that they might be down here somewhere and still capable of being saved. But you can leave if you want. I have no problem with that. You would just this would just be like that little thing that just like that rock that you can't find in your shoe. And for
Yeah.
the rest of all of your days, it would just sit there and dig into your
What an
heel,
asshole.
And you'll
Okay.
wonder what the hell.
And Alice says, Alice will tell that, and she'll say there was a man that was, or someone that had been drugged through that slime, the Lucius slime, as I'm now so calling it.
Yeah, please don't.
Please don't.
Why does Jet care?
Because that sounds gross.
But he's
Well,
covered in it.
See exactly how gross
I'm
it is.
inclined to agree.
So someone may be down here.
Well, I guess that's all I needed.
I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's try not to disturb anything while we're down here. Let's just find if this person's alive and get them out of here.
Everyone stay close and be vigilant.
Do we shoot on sight?
Everybody give me I just put this on tape for
I have
tonight.
no
Everybody
idea.
give me a scrutinize roll. This is what happens in dungeon crawls. Perception. In this game, scrutinize.
And Jet is in his own little world.
I
every
keep
time.
forgetting to put points into stuff. I have them all. I
Oh.
just haven't put them into anything.
I actually did a little better.
I am.
What about Baptiste?
Vigilant.
Good job,
do
Belly.
Baptiste here yet? It makes sense that
God.
Baptiste would probably do well on this one, hopefully. Where is he? Scrutinize.
If it's a 9, I swear to God.
There.
Oh my lord!
There's not-
Kevin, when
Well,
are you gonna learn?
Ellie,
you can't
it's-
say stuff.
Well, Ellie, it's up to you and me. Mostly
Yep.
you.
And the two of you figure out a couple of things as you're looking around. This hallway that you're in was the site of combat. It's kind of hard to tell from this end, but when you shine your torch down the hallway, you can see way down at the far end of the hallway, there's another metal door reflecting slightly in the distance. But there's, you can see bullet holes have scarred the walls that were shot from this end of the hallway down that way, and you can see where they bounced off the walls and the ceiling and the floor. And you start to look around you, and Ellie, you realize there's holes all over, like the door you just came through and the walls around here, but they're like half the size of your finger. But there's no damage around them. Like when you shoot a bullet through a wall, this is like wooden painted white walls down here. When you shoot a bullet through a wall, it breaks, right? This is just a perfect little hole. And you get in close and it looks like it's actually been burned.
Did
Like
Jet
that.
share the information that he read?
It's right on the wall right there. So,
I probably passed it.
Ellie, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna point that out to everybody else, and but I'm really looking around. I'm trying to see if I can find this soldier or anywhere where he might be.
You rolled a 22. From down the hall ahead of you, you've never really had this experience before, I wouldn't think. There's just, you hear a distant flap of wings. Black wings. You know her. You know who this is. And there's this little whiff comes from down the hall. Again, you can feel the wind is drawing at your back. The wind is going away from you down the hall, but you can still smell something coming from down the hall. It's blood.
Do you guys smell that?
Nope.
She's gonna.
I'm staring at Baptiste's dreamy eyes at this point.
Apparently, yes.
She's gonna draw her pistol and she's gonna point in the direction and start slowly approaching and be like, I definitely smell blood over there.
Yeah. You head yourself down to about there-ish.
I'll follow her with my scythe ready.
Sorry, where am I going?
Down about there. So about 4 or 5 spaces ahead of where you are now, yeah. And you see this doorway here, ahead of you. Sorry, this doorway here. That's where the smell's coming from. That first one on the map, it's the first one on the left.
Okay.
And as you step up to that door and look in, there is a huge puddle of blood on the floor in the corner of this room. If you turn the lanterns, it covers a space like 6 feet square. It's most of the blood that would be in a human being.
Wow, how were you able to
But
smell
there's
that?
nobody here.
How most of the blood in a human body?
If I remember correctly, it's a surprisingly small amount. I think it's only about 5 liters.
Is that another door?
1
That's not
1/4
very
gallons. There's
Something like
doors
that.
all the way down. These are, as you walk past them, these are all offices. And they look, well, you were upstairs in the office upstairs. They look like that. Everything's been cleared out of them.
Not gonna find
Are
it.
you going into any of them? Other than this one with the big blood stain in it? And yes, there is also a door in this room as well, against the far wall. There's another one of these metal doors.
Do we?
Is there a handle on it?
Yes, there is. And yes, you can get over there without stepping in it.
And it looks from a distance like everything's gone, like it was in the office.
Yep, as you walk past these offices and look in, again, empty desk, empty floor, empty chairs. There's nothing on cork boards other than the one that was at the main entrance.
And that one was done in desperation, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there was all the little military ones, like, the events that are happening certain nights here and there was all posted, but anything of any value is gone.
Well, I guess Alice,
Anything of information is gone.
since everyone else is kind of looking through that door, Alice is going to stand here and just keep watch, I guess.
Yep.
Outside the...
I'm gonna.
While you're doing
handle.
that, Miss Alice, you see in one of the other offices, beside the desk, there's a safe sitting in the corner.
Which one?
The one that's directly across from the blood.
Oh.
So yeah, this one here.
I think we'll find much here.
It seems to you that it's not a big heavy safe. It's not like 1,000-pound bank safe. It seems like it's quite small. It's only sort of 3 or 4 feet square. It would be suitable for papers and things like that. It might be where they put all this stuff in case of emergency, basically.
Can I try to pick the lock?
Well, you can try, sure.
I've
I've never seen anybody roll 100 in this game before.
I mean,
We can try, though.
I mean, while I'm waiting on everybody
Yeah,
else,
absolutely. Give it
you
a try. You never know. Nobody's watching, so if you fail miserably, no one will see.
it's fine. Nope.
Yeah, no.
Tried my best.
Yeah, you spin the dial a couple times, and it locks and stops moving.
Oh, good.
You just back up like nothing happened.
Yep.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Is there a desk in this room?
absolutely.
I guess while they're doing their thing, I'll try to look around and see if I can find a combination or something.
There's not a whiff of paper in this room.
Okay.
Nowhere. Yeah. Ellie, you were the first one to the door. Open it.
Yep.
Okay.
I have
You
my
put-
pistol drawn. Just
You
Throw
pull it
it
open
down.
and sort of lead with the pistol. The space beyond here is massive. This must be underneath the hangar upstairs. And the first thing you see is chains. There's like 30 or 40 chains hanging down from the ceiling, going through block after block after block of pulley. And all around the bottom of this room, as you shine the lantern around, because it's not lit in here, are all these locations where it's clearly designed for people to stand and pull these chains. But there's 30 or 40 of them got to pull them at the same time.
if I look up, is there that circle where the trapdoor would be underneath?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can see just a circular crack of light above you. That this is obviously the room that they can lower that whole thing down into.
If we look around the room, can we see anywhere where the soldier might be?
Give me a scrutinize. This is back in the room where the bloodstain was?
I'm just looking like in all the places where I can.
Okay, yeah. Give me a scrutinize.
Yeah.
6, yeah. You find some little bits and pieces. Like, I hesitate to use the word, but it's the only accurate word. Like human shrapnel. Whatever did this squeezed this human so hard they popped. And then somebody took the wreckage away and left just little bits here and there.
Can I roll a guts check to not puke?
Yep, absolutely. You can, or you can choose not to roll and just throw up all over it. Your choice.
Ellie's,
Jet?
I normally wouldn't, but Ellie's been through some stuff, so maybe she'll.
That's true. And so remember to give yourself a bonus for any.
She's got brave, so she's got.
Well, you've got that, but there's also on your core page you should have grit by now as well, and that you add that to your roll as well. So add that to your roll as well.
Grit 1. Okay.
Oh yeah, you hold that back.
Cool. But I'm gonna like take a moment, and I'm not even gonna say anything. Who's right behind me? Who's the next person?
Guys are all, everybody but Alice is in this room right now.
Yeah, we're
okay.
both.
I'm just gonna reach behind and say I'm gonna grab like Jet's wrist, and I'm just gonna point.
Yeah. Jet, that sentence, they're stronger than they look, from the note might pop back into your mind. And we just lost Corporal Tanner. I didn't care too much about him. He wasn't much of a guy.
You'd be like,
That guy that's on your team for 6 weeks, you never really know his name. Yeah.
I say, Jet, I think we need to get out of here now.
Oh, Lord. Do you think they're all dead? I mean, what if there's a chance that any of them are left?
I mean, there was only signs of one person maybe still alive, and I'm only seeing one body. I think everybody else is gone
I was going to say,
booked it.
Yeah, Miss Alice and Lucius and Baptiste would know this is a very different form of attack than what happened over in the office.
Yeah. Alice isn't over there unless somebody calls her over.
No, but so yeah, in that room, then Baptiste is watching Miss Alice. He's sort of standing in the hallway. There's no way. He's a big fan of the buddy system.
Yeah, with all the bullets in that room and with seeing what they do, I don't think these are the folks to take anybody alive.
I can see Skylar and Jet fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Jet wants to leave.
How about?
No, don't do that either. I know what you're going to do. Don't do
You
it.
know exactly what I do. You saw talking. How about we give y'all some time to think? And it means we also will have Ryan back next week so he can put Baptiste 2 cents in for real instead of us trying to suss out what he was going to say or not say.
We've probably got it all wrong. It's fine.
So he can Leroy Jenkins that next door.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, if he was still a bazillion, he'd be the first one on the let's get out of here train. But I don't know if 30-year-old Baptiste could leave this place.
He's a loose cannon, man. Who knows?
Yeah.
He probably would be all for it.
I mean, hey, look, when things need to be tried, the one with the least to lose is the one to try it. I'm just saying.
Right.
So
Well, he's got not only the least to lose, but the most the most experience. So he's already had a full life. Yeah.
Marty said.
I got to go find me a devil and get turned 30 again now. Damn it. Oh well. Marty,
Yeah,
over to
I
you
mean-
for the finishing touches.
Hey, look, I got friends. I can put you in touch if you're interested. In the meantime, thanks y'all for joining us tonight. Again, sorry about those technical difficulties, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting an upgrade by next week. So stick with us. Things will hopefully be running a little bit smoother, a little bit fancier too, if I do say so myself. Anyways, we got lots of folks who need to say things about the things that they say. So, Marshal Kevin, why don't you take us on home?
All right, back to me, which means back to these fine people, which means let's just do them in the order they're in now, starting at the far end. Lucius, played by Lessamax. Thank you so
God
much.
damn it!
We'll just keep talking while you fix that. For
Lucius
the
is
last
the
Wait.
only one.
1 week, Marty.
1 week.
Uh,
I said his name. Look what happened. I made everybody else disappear. I feel like such an ass. So covered in slime in an unknown hole without making it official is stay or go. Where's Lucius's head right now?
His curiosity is getting the best of him. It's 50-50, so at this point it's like
Excellent.
go.
Excellent.
But the other hand, it's like, but I want to know.
Perfect. So that's why you need a week to think about it. Jet, played by Noctum Sky. We don't need to ask you. You are as torn as any human being / character I have ever seen. Or is Jet torn?
Jet knows what he wants to do because he's going to listen to Ellie at this point because she's already been mad at him once for being a dumbass. So we're
I
at
love
the
how
point.
that's what you're scared of, not the aliens that explode people. You're like, I don't want to piss Ellie off.
Either way, I feel like she probably knows what's best at this point. So yeah, I'm in the boat that I probably should go, but as a player, I'm looking for a reason to stay.
And while I'm on you, stuff that you do when you're not here.
I work with our wonderful Sarah and our wonderful John on our YouTube. Oh my God!
Wow! Thank you!
Shadowmancer,
That
thank you
scared
so
the
much.
bejesus out of me.
It's so
That too will be
loud.
less
And happy
loud next week.
Yeah,
That was
happy St. Patrick's Day,
horrifying.
for sure.
Thank you, but wow.
Thank you. I don't
OMG.
And they came with a shamrock, so happy St. Patrick's Day to you, sir.
Oh, it is.
Can I ever be with you?
Oh yeah.
And not one of us is wearing green.
I'm wearing green.
Are you?
There's some
Okay.
green on my
I
shirt.
think I have green somewhere.
Not
Anyway,
intentionally.
My eyes are hazel.
It's just an achievement.
Oh, that's
shirt.
a
the reason
cop
it's
out. That is a cop out. My eyes are hazel.
anyway, YouTube, go
anyway.
check us out
Yes.
there if you want to catch up on old episodes, all our previous stuff, all our awesome one shots with awesome guest
Yes,
stars.
yes.
And stay tuned because I think there might be something going on Thursdays, but I don't want to allude to too much on that because I don't know.
Stuff is happening. So yes, absolutely stay tuned. And to do that, you can hook up on our Discord as well, and connect with us there and stay stuck with everything that's going on there. I think we can just do this.
Yeah, we
There
got
you
links
go.
to all this shit down in the panels too.
Yeah, we do have links to all this shit down in the panels.
Yep.
Who's the Pinnacle?
Next, we'll just move along. Alice.
Yep.
First, let's talk to Alice. Staying or going?
Alice wants to stay. You already know.
Yeah, but why?
Because there's a mystery in front of her.
Okay,
and
that makes perfect
she
sense
wants
to me.
to solve it.
Okay, this I get. I forgot that about her. That's right. You couldn't leave this if you tried.
It's
There's a
literally
story. There's a scoop to be had.
there's a thing that she doesn't know, and,
And
therefore
yeah.
she needs to know it.
And speaking of media, when you're not doing this, what are you doing?
I am working with Skylar for one on editing videos and YouTubes. I've been working on my my really shitty 2D animation skills to do interesting intros for particularly the mom episodes.
They are wonderful.
I don't know what you
People-
mean by shitty. Those look like
class.
videos. That's perfect portrait of me. I don't.
That's just what
Right
you
on
look like.
point.
That's just what he looks like. I'm
Mhm.
also started streaming on my own channel, Twitch Nerd Narrative, and also in less than 2 weeks, on March 29th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time before the Mercenaries of Mischief Sunday game, I will be running my table flip. I will be DMing a game for the first time. And it will be a game that I've only played a handful of times and that my players, all but one of them, have never played.
Don't forget to check in with me beforehand to make sure that you have supped from the cup of the gods, so that you may have the requisite powers.
Yes, of course. Marty, we'll talk about that in private, okay?
Oh, I mean, hey, look, people don't need to know how the procedure is done.
Okay, as long as all right, that's fine.
Can we not ship out Sarah and Marty?
God, I'm shipped with my
You're-
fucking
you're just-
characters are
every
shipped
night,
with.
every night of the week.
Every-
Oh man, and
But yeah,
yeah, okay, and so yes, thank you for that. Which leaves us with Ellie again. Oh, we moved, didn't we? Did we rotate? Did I? No, Ellie.
Nope.
Staying or going?
She was like super curious because she was like, because cool spaceship. But exploding body is kind of that's her. That's where she draws the line.
That's off-putting enough to not want to save anybody.
And
Gotcha.
she
Yeah.
also doesn't want Jet down there.
Right. Fair enough.
Especially
And-
with Raven, just kind of like just making that
Oh,
appearance.
yeah.
She's just like
What-
she's freaked out because she's like, if Raven's coming to me with something, that's not good.
Okay, I was wondering how that fed or how that read from your side. So thank you. for
Yeah, so
keeping
she
me
was
up there.
like,
Yeah.
okay, we need to find the soldier now, and she's like, Kate found the soldier, we're leaving now.
Yeah, absolutely. I
good
get
luck.
It.
Yeah, well,
If that's Captain
what she
Tanner,
wants.
it's not Kyle. If you remember, this soldier's name is Kyle. That's why they all had his name on the back of their shirts. So you still
Yeah.
haven't found Kyle.
Gotta find
Yeah.
Kyle.
I think Kyle's gone or dead.
Look, the only inkling of thing keeping me wanting to stay here is what if there's magic?
I don't know.
Or a gun, or a really cool.
Hey, look, there's only the
plug-in
magic.
pistol, apparently.
There's only the magic of a beautiful performance. Tune in next week for Saving Private Kyle, starring Jet Hanks.
That ain't my last name.
Isn't
It is
No.
now. Oh, wow.
Maybe not in this world.
Name it,
and
Marty.
With that, I will quickly mention the other stuff that happens on this channel. On Sundays and Mondays, the Magnificent Puck, Lord of Chaos and Benevolent Dungeon Master Extraordinaire, runs a double-sided game for us. Two groups, both like herding cats, in the same world at the same time, interactively, sometimes involving crossover episodes with 8 players at his table. I don't know how he does it. That's Mercs of Mischief Mondays and Tuesdays. We do this on, that's Sundays and Mondays. We do this on Tuesday. And then, as if I don't get enough, because I don't, on Thursdays, me and 3 other friends play Iron Sworn co-op mode over on Dirty 20 Gaming. And that's 4 players and no GM. And that's getting really interesting, considering we officially don't have a plot. But with that and everybody, and remember our check our panels down out below, how you can help us in all the wonderful things we're trying to do for other people and for ourselves. To be honest, some of it's for us.
Yep, and turn on those notifications because we're gonna have probably a surge of content coming soon.
Absolutely, yes.
Gonna be all
We are-
kinds of crazy shit going on over here and in
Yep.
YouTube. So keep
Yep.
an eye out.
Watch. And with that, I really thought it was going to happen this week, but I can pretty much guarantee that I will shoot you next week. Bye.
In hell, he fought for us all with heart, soul, and steel, this paladin in hell.